This is Mark 4:22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Let's start by giving all praise and glory and honor to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem HaKadosh.
We are the prophets, the Hebrew Israelites from Tampa, Florida, from the camp prophets of Babylon down in Tampa, Florida. I want to give them all the elders and apostles to give millstone and teaching we well, peace and blessings to go for elect and the ones listening in. We come here to preach the downfall of America, Babylon. All right, and this place will get hit with nukes and we want our people. All right, but as you heard the scripture, go ahead and bring it back real quick.
This is Mark 4:22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret.
So right now we're in a time of explosion. All right, exposure. All right, to these wicked elites, man. All right, and the rulers of darkness, man. All right, because you just had, this whole week, you had the Diddy trial and everything that's going on behind closed doors and all the top celebrities, all right, and the top people here in Babylon that was going to those parties, they're getting exposed. You had the woman Cassie, the singer, all right, everything that he did with her is getting exposed, all right. Then you also have, this guy, the celebrity EDG, man, all right, and they're exposing the whole thing with him and his baby mother, all right, Holly Bailey, and who she signed to, which, is Jay-Z and Beyonce, the Rock Nation, and they exposing that whole thing, man.
You can't forget Tory Lanez.
Yep, Tory Lanez, man. So there's a lot going on, and, people are starting to find out, man. All right, there was another clip, me and the brother was going on about it. There was a TikTok showing how one of DDG friends had got a expensive bottle of alcohol sent to his place, and it had a note that said, "Stay in your jurisdiction." All right, so these devils, all right, are starting to get exposed and found out, man. All right, all the things they kept behind in dark, the things that were said in dark and done in dark, is being exposed ultimately through the Lord, man. All right, it's ultimately through the Lord, but the Lord has prophets speaking through his prophets, from years on, from the elders, starting from the elders on down to GMS, exposing these motherfuckers, man. All right, exposing the devil.
Yeah, they had pretty much, the industry is being exposed for its wickedness. So everything that's coming out now is really just tying up with these scriptures, man. Because the Lord is going to reveal all this wickedness in the times that we're coming into more and more. And these individuals who are, in that vein, okay, who have that lavish lifestyle that they're living, all that's going to come crashing down upon them, man. You got these wicked elites who are in, these high positions. They're controlling these labels, these record labels. They're controlling the radio stations. They're controlling the media. They're controlling everything that's coming out. So what's being exposed, all right, it's really Esau and his wickedness behind closed doors.
Yeah.
It says, but that it should come abroad.
It's coming abroad right now, man. All right. And like I said, ultimately it's really through the prophets of the Lord and how about you on the side, man. All right. That's who we fighting against, man. All right. The rulers of darkness, man. All right. These elites. The elites, man. All right. These devils are, they the ones that's doing all the top wicked, dark things, behind closed doors, and we were exposing that, man. All right, through the elders, man. Ultimately through the Lord Yahweh, the Lord gave us the knowledge. The Lord gave us the truth. The Lord gave us the understanding. All right. With that understanding, we warn our people, we told our people who these celebrities were, man. All right, but we've looked at as evil. We've looked at as dark. We've looked at as, we hate. And all different type of things that they will say about the prophets. All right.
Yeah, they'll call us conspiracy theories. Yeah. All the conspiracy theories were right. All these conspiracy theories are coming to pass is all been found out that they weren't so crazy. People who was called conspiracy theories, they ain't so crazy, man. All right, but the point is that with the whole term conspiracy theories came from the elites trying to make the people who was exposing them sound cuckoo. Okay, the people who was saying the truth sound crazy. But so people they'll label you with that term, and I believe that term. We all believe in that term. But that's really, hey, the truth is coming out. So right now you got some crazy ass conspiracy that ain't true. But then for the most part, a lot of that shit is true, and it's coming out in these last days. The Lord is exposing Esau's hand. Esau works through the sleight of hand. He works with deception. Okay? And so the Lord he is now revealing this man in the last days, which is taking away part of his power, which he can't use his deception, he's gonna go back to using that sword. Yeah. See?
And we're considered the light of this world, man. All right, and we're shining in the darkness, exposing the darkness. You know, so that's why Esau, Edom, you know, they dislike us so much. You know, these elites, they dislike us so much. And they gonna come. We're who they're coming against, man. When all hell breaks loose, all right. When things, you know, hit the fan, they coming against the prophets, man. All right. That's gonna be their leeway to go against the prophets and point the fingers at us, man. All right, appreciate it. Let me bring this out in the too.
This is Mark 4 and verse 22 in the NLT. For everything that is hidden will eventually be brought into the open.
Yeah. So everything that's hidden, all the things these devils try to hide from us, all right? All these things that we expose, but we was called liars, conspiracy theorists for, all right? These are the things that's being brought into the open, man. Now it's being brought upon social media, on the internet, all right? That's why these devils shut down the internet, because they're getting exposed on their own platforms, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, and every secret will be brought to light.
Yep. So every secret is being brought to light. All right? Everything that's being done in the dark, everything that's being said in the dark, everything's being brought to light, man. All right?
Hey, and that's the thing with this whole case with, you know, the Diddy situation. Which it ain't just about Diddy, it's about that whole industry. All of Hollywood was in on that shit. They all in them documents. You know, they all been exposed. The list is coming out. But now you have it's in a court case, so everything in the court case is public information. So they're revealing text messages, they're revealing camera footages, they're revealing everything that was going on. And they're also revealing that these freak-offs were satanic rituals, man. This individual Diddy, he was a monster. All he was doing was a bunch of satanic sex rituals, man. Sex magic, you know. And this is how these individuals get on top and stay on top, man. People had to go to Diddy. He was a gatekeeper. They had to go to him to get on some type of level in the industry. You know, it shows you they're all in bed with the devil, man. These individuals that you'll see them wearing a cross. That's why I want to thank God. But what God do they really serve? Demons. That's another thing that's the main thing that's been exposed. That these people that you worship and you reverence and you idolize are Satan worshipers. Okay? They worship demons. They praise demons. They bow down. They drink blood. They drink piss. Cassie somehow she was drinking piss. That's a sex ritual, man. You know, drinking blood, drinking semen, eating shit. This is what was going on. Diddy wanted semen rubbed on his chest. Those are part of sex rituals, man. So the Lord is exposing all this, showing you how these individuals got to be in the limelight. These lesser luminaries are being found out.
And if I may add, Diddy also said before all this went down, if he's going down, everyone's going down with him. You know, everyone that was around him partaking that. And you see he would be around, you know, LeBron James and all these big no-name people that.
Hey, Sloppy. He was with Obama.
Yeah.
Obama was at them parties, man.
TD Jakes.
TD Jakes, the pastor. Yeah, that nigga, because he know all that shit gonna come out, man. LeBron talking about retiring all of a sudden. Okay. He had Prince Harry at them damn parties, man.
Yeah.
That's so-called royalty. You know, so it's showing how they all freaks, man. All right. The higher you go up, the freakier it get. All right. This is why, hey, the Lord got us down here below. Somebody grabbed that the lowly as horses upon grab that
service
horses, because we're the lowly, man, and it's best to be down here, you know, at the bottom, because this is where it's clean at. You would think it's filthy down here, but it's really filthy up there. Because this is Satan's kingdom. This is Satan's rulership. Lord gave this devil his chance to rule. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, I'm starting at verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity.
Folly is set in great dignity. This is why these individuals are on the top right now. All they push is folly. When this guy Diddy was talking about love, brother love, what love you think he was talking about? It wasn't the love of the scriptures. This nigga is into that damn what is called Thelma?
Sex magic.
Huh?
Sex magic.
Yeah, it's like a word.
Thelma is the god.
Yeah, love is God, love is law.
Oh yeah.
No, it's the Lima. It's locked in. The Lima. It's a whole religion sex magic is sex worship. So when he was talking about love, brother love, that's what we're talking about. Getting another man's semen rubbed on him after it came out of his woman. You see? This is the sick shit that go on, bro. This is why when the Lord really turned us up, somebody grab that. Fishers start turning to hunters as well. Because when the Lord really turned us up, bro, we gonna hunt you fucking devils down. Okay? Lord will give us that power to start hunting these niggas. They gonna try to flee to other countries and shit. And we gonna come and get your nasty ass, man.
Hey,
Sick, real live sickos, okay, is the ones that's calling the shot. This is why we can never go up there in that realm because, even when the Robert Surgeon got there, they don't have you do some sick shit. Terrence Howard said it. He said he went to Diddy house and Diddy was just sitting there staring at him, licking his lips and shit.
Who did an interview that said he didn't want to work with him because they said Diddy wanted to pop him? Terrence Howard. Oh, yeah.
Terrence Howard. He said, what's going on? Why you doing that? His manager told him, he said, I think he wants to F you. That's what goes on. You want a movie deal? You want a role? You want some money? Oh yeah, you gotta bend over that casting couch, man. And the Lord is having the artists is coming out to expose them because as America's falling, when Trump just came out and put sanctions on these movies, talking about how Hollywood is dead, the movie industry is dead, because the Lord is through with that shit, man. Bring that back.
Hey, really, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. All right, but the Lord's gonna expose everything, man. And these devils are gonna be found for their shame, and they're gonna be disliked by the whole world, man. All right, right now we're disliked. Right now we're the ones that's evil, and all these false accusations that's put upon us. But the truth is gonna be shown and exposed on them. All right, and you're gonna see who the real criminals are, man.
If I can back you up right quick, me and the brother McGowan was up in the spirit. I was just telling him, like, bro, 10 years ago, you talking about the Illuminati, niggas would look at you like you're crazy. But now you go on Instagram, everybody know about the Illuminati now. That's because the Lord is thinning that veil. Okay, the Lord is
he is lifting the veil.
He's lifting the veil. That's right. And this is why also these devils are gonna get the worst. Who do you think taught Diddy and his people that, man? And they went into it how his dad was a pimp and a drug dealer, and his mom was in on those free calls too as well. All right. But Esau, y'all got hell to pay, man, because they didn't get that out of nowhere, man. They didn't just start doing that. They got that from y'all.
Yeah, Diddy was under a guy named Clyde Davis, who was a small hat. He's so-called Jewish, right? But this guy came out with a book talking about how he gay. There's accounts of individuals at Diddy house and Clyde Davis come there and then they go right into the room, come out sweating and shit. So these niggas that's in power, they learn from the wicked. Right? Somebody grab that, the way the wicked seduceth them, okay? Because when you go into that world, you got to play ball, okay? Or you get blackballed, all right? You literally lose jobs, positions, you lose money. You know what happened to Kanye when he started speaking out against the small hats? That nigga went from a billionaire to a fucking nobody overnight. That shows you who's in power. They can freeze your accounts, all that, bro. Just like that.
And what shows you that the money that they're making is not even theirs.
It's not their money,
Because
right?
these individuals are signing contracts which is they have to be bonded by, man. And what that releases is the fact that whatever they do, whatever hard work they put towards, they are still bonding under whoever they sign a contract under to, man. So that means that they can get, these millions. Yeah, they can live a lavish lifestyle, but they still have a requirement. And that's why you got a lot of these elites, all right, that's requiring these, these rappers or entertainers, all right, to be involved in these wicked rituals, man. Because that's the lifestyle that Esau's, doing, man, behind closed doors. So he's introducing that to Jake. Jake go out there and introduce it to more Jake, and that's why this wickedness continues in cycle, man. And you start hearing it in the music. You start hearing it or seeing it in the movies. It's only getting worse. But that's why this place is getting ready to get destroyed, man.
Going back into it, Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place.
Hey, man, folly is set in great dignity. All right, wickedness. All right, these damn devils, these celebrities, they're set in great dignity, man. All right, but they're being seen for their folly, man, their wickedness, for the vile things that they do behind closed doors, man. All right, if a brother can get the edo from vile, or the definition, whichever one, But the vile things that these devils were doing, man, all right, it was disgusting, bro. All right, and the Lord, and the brother said, David was like, You know, once I get caught, everybody's gonna get caught. All right, because guess what? He had cameras. There was video evidence. You know, all these different celebrities going in and out of this house in those freak-off parties. All right, there's you know, they're going through everything, messages, phones. All right. And that's what you got with the trial with Cassie. And you got her husband walking up, because he's figuring out everything that's been going on. She probably didn't tell him that whole thing. She probably water it down.
She's not a victim, bro.
Yeah, she's not a victim, bro. She wanted to do that. Because she wanted more money. She wanted more things. All right, that's how it is with a lot of those celebrities. Is they want to continue, they want to build up, they want to be, you know, bigger in this society, in that industry. All right, they have to do way worse things. They have to do the sex work. All right, they have to do little things behind closed doors. With the camera and everything, because if they was to go off to do something that they ain't like, it's going to get exposed. Alright?
And Diddy had a whole bunch of cameras in every room had a camera in it, man. You know, so nothing wasn't going unfilmed or unnoticed. That's why he said when he go down, everybody going down, man. The whole industry going down.
That word wild is that morally repugnant, morally flawed, corrupt, wicked.
Morally repugnant. Man. Repugnant means, you know, extremely distasteful, disgusting. Alright? Detestable, man. Alright? These are disgusting things, bro. You know, we had Diddy's daughters that was in this. They was defending him. They walked out, bro. Because it was a shame, man. That is a shame to be, you know, everything that was going on. They probably didn't know the whole thing, the whole story. They got the money, you know?
Right, because these wicked individuals, they were doing these freak offs that required them to do things unseemly, which is inappropriate. You see? All right, you go to these parties, they you got people who will come out from these parties and then speak about it, and they'll tell you the things that they've seen, or they'll expose you so much ministry of what they were saying, or what they were seeing in these freak offs. That's why you have it all being exposed now within these court systems with you got the girl, the singer, Cassie, because it's all meant to be brought out, man. Okay, before this place get brought to its end, there's gonna be a lot of stuff popping off, man, and a lot of exposure when it comes to these higher ups and the wickedness, you see, and it's being revealed right now through the Spirit right by Shimon Shai, all right, for what wickedness that goes on behind closed doors.
Finish it up, bro. Finish it up. That definition says disgusting, foul, ugly, degrading, inferior quality, physically repulsive through filth or corruption, and disgusting. Now, today, so they're defiling themselves, because for those demons, for them to sup with them demons, you have to make yourself, you have to defile your temple. You can't be a clean vessel. You can't be a pure vessel when you're dealing with demons. That's the left-hand side. Right? So you have to degrade yourself. You know, and the body got to be right, like us. For the Holy Spirit to flow through us, we got to make our bodies pure.
We got to make our bodies make our bodies pure. For the Spirit.
So that the Spirit can flow, right? Exactly. So the same thing with them. They got to disgust themselves through all manner of wickedness, so those demons can sup with them. Right? That's why they got to drink blood. She said they were making her mystical.
That's sick, man.
Beyonce said what? She used the Bible as a tampon.
And you know, another thing they would do is nubbing. You know, when the brother was just talking about it, we were just talking about it in the lesson. You know, these women would be nubbing themselves, all right, with their vagina fluids, all right, and put perfume on it, all right. So when a man will smell them, they can become obsessed with them. So bro, like everybody's a witch. We're the only, we're the light of this place, bro. A woman can walk past you, she's doing witchcraft, bro. All right. You know, Jake can walk past you, they're doing witchcraft, they're doing wild things. Alright, you never know what Jake is doing, bro. And it's all in the dark. All that's going to get exposed. And what's going to destroy this place, all going to be a part of that nuclear power, man.
Like the word said, it's all going to get exposed, and it's being exposed now. You know, that's why it's being brought out with the scriptures, man. We getting it out of these scriptures, man. Okay? Those are it. Straight out.
This is the book.
Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So, hey, you know, you have some servants upon horses. These damn devils, man. Originally, they're supposed to be our servants, man. They're supposed to be servants. Scripture called them base men. The lowest of the low.
That's a base.
Yeah, it's a base. What they're doing is base, man. It's cavemen. All right, these are little cavemen, man. All right, they don't even know how to wipe their ass, you know. So that's who's on the top right now, man. All right, and the Lord has the true rules, all right, as servants. But we gotta understand, you know, the bad before you get the good. So we can appreciate the good, the righteousness. All right.
Go ahead, bro. I got to preach that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 15. What sorrow awaits those who try to hide their plans from the Lord?
What sorrow awaits those? He said, what try to hurt?
Bring it back.
Hide their plans from the Lord, man. All right. So these devils, you know, they try to hide their plans. All right. You know, there's a lot of sorrows await, you know, these devils, Satan, you know. All right. Because the Lord, ultimately, they know what the Lord knows what they're doing behind closed doors. The scripture says his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right.
Time. We're going to Satan. Hold on, brothers. Hold on. Isaiah 29 and 15. What sorrow await those who try to hide their plans from the Lord? Who do their evil deeds in the dark? The Lord cannot see us. They say he doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, they think the Lord don't see them, man. All right. Ultimately, that's Jake as well. But the scripture says they are the father of the government. Right. So Jake be after Esau, going after Esau, being in the dark. All right, doing things behind the dark and behind closed doors. You know? Because ultimately, they think the Lord don't see them.
And what did David say? What did King David say? Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So there is a secret counsel going on that you got our people partaking in.
Exactly.
Like the Diddy parties. Bro, the Diddy parties is low level shit, bro.
That's just the tip of the
That's
iceberg.
just the tip of the iceberg. We got the Bohemian Grove, you know. We got these underground bunkers they going to and they doing missing children.
Man, the Lord's gonna expose all of it, bro. And that's why they're gonna have to shut down the internet. It's gonna be a must.
The EP Island.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, EP Island.
That nigga was going over there too.
Yeah.
Hey, and you seen that was getting exposed. But see, look, we're in a time where wickedness is at a so high right now that people are trying to normalize the wickedness that they see. You see, all that's gonna be put to an end. You see, it ain't gonna be no more of that, man. Eventually, all hell gonna break loose, and individuals gonna have to come to alert about what's really going on or what's really taking place. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back in the GNT though. Give me a second. This is the book of Isaiah 29 and verse 15 in the GNT.
That's right, scripture.
It says, those who try to hide their plans from the Lord are doomed.
Those that try to hide their plans from the Lord are doomed. You see, Esau, he think gonna get away with the wickedness he's doing, man. He think he's gonna get away scot-free. But see, the things that he do behind closed, it's all being watched, man. The Lord's eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. All right, the Lord has his eyes at every corner of this earth, man.
The Lord's seeing everything, man. We haven't seen anything yet, bro. So you know, imagine how angry the Lord is, man. Wow. You gotta think about it, bro. The Lord sees literally everything, bro. So the Lord is literally witnessing everything these damn devils are doing to us, man. All right, and the Lord is offended. So these devils gotta be doomed, bro. They gotta go. They gotta be destroyed. Eradicate off the face of the earth. That's why the Lord has to replace them.
If I can make a quick point, these things that Diddy and these other Jake celebrities are partaking into, they do that so they can push out that enchantment towards the lesser Jakes. That's not necessarily a celebrity. Like these are rituals they doing, man. Me and the brother was going into it. Spiritual wickedness in high places. The music you're listening to, it's an enchantment. The TV shows you're watching, it's an enchantment. The basketball, it's an enchantment. No matter what area or which direction you try to take, it all leads to the same thing.
Or if you think about it, you can grab Micah 2 and 1. Because that's speak on that. Grab that. That's all.
It says they carry out their schemes in secret and think no one will see them or know what they are doing.
They're carrying out these schemes in secret, man. All right, in private. All right, they think nobody sees it, nobody knows. But the Lord knows. All right, the Lord can expose you in the most unexpected ways, just like Diddy. Right. All right, the Lord's exposing him in the most unexpected ways. That devil thought he wasn't gonna get caught. You know, that demon thought he was never gonna get caught. Who got the thing that's 6 principalities? Some demons, that demon thought he was never gonna get caught. Right? The Lord was exposing him. All right. The whole Illuminati, like brother said, you were talking about it 10 years ago. Niggas would look at you crazy. But that has been exposed. That has been shown. That has been put in light, man. That came to abroad. All right, and the Lord did that.
Hey, right.
You know?
And you had it with our elders and apostles, the great most coming down, been speaking on these things for years, man. Okay, so it's been being revealed, all right, who the wicked is and the wickedness that they're doing behind closed doors. Okay, now that in these times they're getting hit across the head even harder. That's why Esau running around like a chicken with his head cut off, because he's running out of solutions, man. All right, he's running out of the ability to cover shit up. Okay, you have where these devils are starting to expose themselves. Their tongue is falling upon themselves. So they're not able to do what they were doing back 30 years ago, 20 years ago. They're not able to do that now. Hey, at this point, all they can do is just say, fuck it, show their horns, show their wickedness. And that's what they're doing right now. Grab that right quick.
I got it. Now, I'll make a point too on what you said. The reason it's a lot harder for them to hide it too as well is because you got the internet now. You got the internet, you got young kids on tablets now, you got everything coming out all across the world, man. So it's hard for them to hide their wickedness now, man. All it takes is a quick snap of a video, and that video is all around the world, going worldwide, man. And these devils can't hide no more, man.
That's right. Bring it up.
This is the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
That's right, and that's what these illegal elites been doing. They work evil upon their beds. Okay, that iniquity, this is what they're doing, man. All right? They're being exposed for the iniquity that they are continuing to do. That's why the scripture says, woe, because destruction is ultimately going to come to those who are letting these things happen. You see, so Esau, you're not going to get away with it, man. According to prophecy, you're going to taste destruction, man. Go ahead.
When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Right, because it is in the power of their hand. So Esau's had the control for how long now? And has he done any good? Has he done anything to change the solutions of how this wickedness is spewing out through the earth? No, because he's had the power in his hand to do nothing but produce and push wickedness, man. And that's how you know when the scripture says they are the border of wickedness, because these devils will be the only ones that see right now, the cities of Joel 9:24 that will be ruin and wickedness, man. Okay, pushing this same under closed doors vibration, freak offs, man. It all boil down, all right, and come down from Esau, all right, like the brother said with Clyde Davis. It had to happen to him, and it happened to Diddy, and then it happened to others, man. It's just a chain on down, all right. What you got, bro?
Like the brother you called said, especially with these elites and what these rappers are doing to try to get the luxury jakes. And these rappers are always telling you can do anything you want to do. You gotta get it by blood, sweat, and tears. They meant it literal, man. All right. After hearing what's going on now, you realize that they meant this very literal. And it goes on the same verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, and even a man and his heritage. And that's what they're doing to us, man. They're oppressing our Jake, our heritage, man. Or like we said earlier, Diddy didn't just come out and start doing this, man. These devils came unto him, all right, and started playing with his mind from a young Jake, all right. And what is he doing after that to the next Jake under him? Doing the same thing to them. Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, 23rd chapter. When I started the 19th verse, it says, "This man is only afraid of other people. He doesn't realize that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun."
This is talking about a man that committed adultery, all right, behind closed doors. And this can go for any of you wicked ass niggas, man. All right? Behind closed doors, they believe that the Lord don't see them. Not knowing that the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, so he's seeing everything. All right? The things that the wicked are doing, the things that 2/3 Jakes are doing. All right? He's even watching us, man. 24/7, the Lord's watching us. That's why we have to have integrity. It's not just a thing on camera, but even off camera, man. All right? You got to be serving the Lord and have lots of shot. You got to be doing the things that the Lord has commanded us to do. All right?
It says that he sees everything we do, even when we try to hide it.
So he sees everything we do, even when you try to hide it, bro. Jake trying to hide it, or Jake thinking in here, oh, Lord, we forget about it. I can just go, repent after it. But ultimately, you can't. The Lord seeing that, Lord, like, okay, you got a nigga mentality, man. All right? You trying to hide it? Are you trying to do it? You doing it on purpose, and then expect me just to forget about it? You don't expect me just to let it go by? You know? The Lord's still gonna judge you for it. You know?
He created everything before he created the world, as well as after. So like it says, he knew everything before he created the world, as well as after.
The Lord knows literally everything, bro. He has his angels set everywhere. All right, he's recording everything. He knew everything before the world was created and after. You know? So you think you can hide from the Lord? You think you can hide your sins from the Lord? You think the Lord cannot expose you at any moment, at any time? You know? The Lord's watching. The Lord, like I said, the Lord has many ways he can expose you. It may not be camera evidence. The Lord may have somebody come on and testify. The Lord may have somebody come on and expose it. A victim. All right?
Hey, that's beautiful you said that because that's what you're seeing right now. You see? Hey, we're in a place where righteousness and wickedness and judgment takes place, man. Okay? We see right now, man. So everything is going to be played out here on earth, man. All right? It's going to be exposed for what's going on. It's going to be exposed for what's being done in the dark, man. You see? So the Lord has his eyes on every corner of this earth, man. And everything is going to be brought to the light.
It says that the sinful man will be caught when he least expected and punished publicly.
So that sinful man is going to be caught when he least expected. He didn't expect it, all that to get found out right then and there. You know? These other celebrities, they didn't, who was it? Forgot his name, Lucky. But they didn't expect to be caught. When they got caught, man. Yeah, R. Kelly. Water. Man, they didn't expect to be caught, bro. Alright? But now it's being, they got caught and they got exposed. Now they're being a public ridicule, man. Alright? Humiliation. Alright? Because it's humiliating, man. That's why it's a humiliating ritual. They have celebrities do it. Alright? So when you come against them, they can expose it. This is what you was doing, man. They got tabs on you. You can't buck up. You can't say anything. I was watching the podcast. Those were the Breakfast Club. And it was like, I guess it was the celebrity DDG. And he was talking to one of the comedians. She was like, she don't want to be doing like live streaming and all those different things because she knows that she can't say everything she wants to say. She feel like, yes, there we go. Because she knows that she can't say everything. All right, even on the podcast, she can't say just anything, bro. All right, because she would be made a public ridicule by these devils, man. They won't expose everything, bro. Alright? You can't mess with these devils. This is their game. Alright? Only people that can come up against these devils is the prophets of the Lord. That's because we have the Lord on our side. We have the green light to go. You got the green light too, man.
And even us, we got things that we did in the world. The scripture says who can lay anything charged to the Most High elect.
Exactly.
Because the Lord ordained these men to go out and preach against them. These niggas, they trying to rise up against the side. They get shut down immediately. You got Kanye West. Kanye West not a prophet. Right? The Lord created that nigga to make beats, okay, and rap. That's his lot. Not to come out here and set his face against Mount Seir, man. See? That's why we got the highest office. We got the highest office. You think about these celebrities, even when they do speak against Esau, I think when Esau come get them, they just mysteriously died. They had a suicide note. Okay? But what's giving us the green light to come against this devil? We're not coming after us.
And that's beautiful. The brother even said that after all these elites get exposed, and brothers go into that all the time. Once these celebrities fall, man, and this society collapse, the real high value men and the men of value is going to be the men of Yahweh shot. We're going to have the knowledge of the scriptures. The Lord is going to be dealing with us. All right, and we're going to understand the ropes of this world, man. This truth has set us free.
This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness.
So we're wrestling not against flesh and blood, man. Alright? Also, you ain't going back and forth and just nigga, man. About some low level eating like. You ain't damn about you, bro. Go on about your day, man. You just come out here to expose these devils. Alright? The rulers of darkness, man. Alright? The ones that sit at the top of the spot, man. Alright? And they're the ones that's playing puppets, all right, with the celebrities. Playing puppets with the president, all right? They doing the wickedness behind closed doors. We exposing them devils, man. All right? Those are the devils that we're fighting against right now.
I was thinking about it last night. I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, everything we do got to be different. We got to move different. We got to talk different. We got to eat different. We got to speak different. Okay, because we're not normal, just as our adversary isn't normal. You know, Esau the these elite Edomites, they're not the average nigga you see out here. Edomite having a barbecue. You know? Like, nah, they constantly working.
They're not even down in here in America.
They're not even here. Like, you don't see
They
them.
don't see.
They moving different.
Exactly.
They have an agenda. Okay, we have an agenda.
They know about the prophets. They know about the men. And they're scared. They're terrified. Because that time, once you see brothers waking up, they know that their time, their kingdom is soon to end. All right? If the brothers can get one of the part of the Sunday, what do you do?
It says, I bring it back. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For you wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
So we're wrestling against the rulers of darkness of this world, man. All right, the elites. Esau, Edom. The ones that are at the top, the ones that's doing everything behind closed doors. All right, that you don't know about. The scripture says, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So his wicked schemes and plans that he got these low-level niggas, these two-third niggas, and his own people fooled by it. We're not fooled by it, man. We see what's going on. We see through it. The scripture says the prudent men foresee of evil and don't get out of themselves. All right? So we foresee the evil. We foresee the things that these devils are trying to put come to pass. All right? And we hide ourselves in this truth and knowledge. Understand? You know? So these devils can't just do whatever they want to do with the brothers.
Right.
They can't just put their hands on the prophet.
Right. And because the scripture says what? Psalm 91. You know, grab that right quick. All right, just going into this is our refuge. You see? So it says also in the name of Yahweh outside, the righteous went into, or in the name of Yahweh outside, the strong tower, and the righteous went into it and are saved. So like the brother was saying, backing him up, you can't just come at brothers, man. You can't just come at the prophets of Yahweh outside, man. You gotta move careful.
And the elites can't just come at the brothers, man. All right? These devils can't just put their hands on us right now. All right? Because the Lord is not allowing you.
Hey,
You know?
They niggas can't send a bottle for our house. No, bro, you just waste war on my circle.
Exactly.
Bro, that shit
The
real,
Lord
bro.
will restore you,
They
bro.
don't tell them what they probably try to do. We don't know about it. The Lord probably
Martin get killed or took him out before they tried to do it. So they know they can't touch us right now, man. They can't put their hands on us. Even in that time, the Lord's going to be protecting us. All right, in Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaking loose, the Lord's going to be protecting us and give us, inserting us powers, man. All right, spiritual powers, man, to defend ourselves, bro. All right, but these devils know they can't touch us. These devils can't just, like the brother said, send ballers over to our house and threaten us. All right? Because they know that the Lord will destroy us, bro.
It said, I'm gonna finish it up. It says, read it up a little bit, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. All right, they doing what? Dark magic, sex magic, humiliation rituals, all these different things. All right, sacrifices to keep themselves in power, man. All right, what's the one movie with the sword? King Arthur, man. You had where his uncle that tried to take his rulership, which is Esau, which represents Esau. He was going on to demons, all right, to get his power. He was going to the left-hand angels to get his power, to stay on top, to stay as a ruler of the kingdom.
you let them go. Your time is up.
Time's up. You can't. Once the Lord started, step foot into it. All right, Lord, okay, enough is enough. They can't do anymore. No matter how many people they sacrifice. I know no matter how much blood they drink or any rituals they do, they ain't gonna be able to stop what the Lord's gonna have come from them, man.
We through the spirit, we King Arthur, we keep the sword.
Exactly.
We the only ones that can wield the sword through the spirit of God and our God from outside, man. and now we're wielding it. We're using it in our day-to-day life. Okay, to get past the fiery darts of the devil, Satan.
I gotta. And this is the book of Job, chapter 14.
It says, verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shemel Shai, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
And we're putting on that armor of the Lord Yahweh Shai. Once again, says truth, we gain wisdom, knowledge, understanding, faith. Alright? We gain all these attributes from the Spirit, alright, to be able to withstand these devils in that evil day, man. Alright, scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue. Alright? So in that time when all hell breaking loose, alright, we don't have to war with us, bro. Because we have supplied ourselves with the armor, the spiritual armor, alright, that is needed of us, that we need, alright, to withstand that thing, man, to withstand these things. Alright?
Right. Because Esau going to be coming with all different types of tactics, man. All right, to try to come at brothers. But having this wisdom and knowledge and this truth, all right, we are covered, we are protected, man. You know, you look at it like this. You know, this armor we putting on is like it's like a force field, man. Okay, with the how about you outside. That's why we bring down earlier, you know, run into a safe place. You know, that's a prime example as the scripture goes into when you put on that armor. Because when it comes to a day when Esau comes with it, we're going to be fully protected. Scriptures also say what? If Yahweh shall be for us, who shall be against us? You see? Continuing, so verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
We have on that breastplate of righteousness. We girded about the tops of my loins, alright, with truth, man. With the true knowledge, with the true understanding, with true righteousness, man. Alright? And that's how we're going to be able to fight in that day when all hell is breaking loose. That's how we're going to be able to be stable in that day when all hell is breaking loose. When the devils come up against us. Alright? Because ultimately, they waiting, bro. These devils can't wait to put their hands on the prophets, to demonize us, to falsely accuse us. They can't wait, bro. So when that time comes, the Lord's going to have his true men, alright, be spiritually prepared to be able to withstand the times we're going to come into the demonization, persecution, alright, being falsely accused of different things, alright. That time is going to come, and we want to be able to withstand that thing in that day, man. And the Lord's going to deliver us through our faith.
Yeah, so funny, these celebrities, when they get caught out on their bullshit, and when Esau Edom begins to put that fire on them, they try to profess some type of truth that, oh, I'm an Israelite. When Esau put that fire on them, them niggas backpedal immediately. They immediately go apologize. You know? The Lord actually give them a shout. Okay, let me show you what color being an Israelite. And then they start, oh no, I'm sorry, I ain't. To get that position they got back because they're not going to rise up against them. But we are.
And the scripture says, who shall stand up against the workers of iniquity? Okay. Matter of fact, I only go before quoted Brother Rabbit. He was getting the point made because, you know, hey, it's going to be certain men that's going to stand up against this wicked kingdom, man. Be your heart by some outside. Okay? That's right. So in these times, man, you know, hey, those men are going to be doing what we're doing today. You know, prophesying against the these kingdoms, man, these wicked kingdoms. Okay, as the prophets of old did, man. That's why the prophets of old, they was roughed up, man. Okay, they stern. All right, hey, they spoke truth, man. Hey, and you had all those people who came to dislike them because of what the message they came through, spirit playing on shit outside. You see, as the brother was saying, that persecution is gonna come because we the same spirit today doing what the prophets of old had done, man. Prophesy against the kingdom, all right, and let them know pestilence and death and all these things are going to come.
Bring it up. This is Psalms 94 and verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
And who's going to rise up for the Lord Yahweh against these evildoers? All right? You know, the workers of iniquity. And that's ultimately the men of the Lord, Yahweh, we got that glorious light shining upon them. All right? That's who's gonna rise up. That's who's gonna fight for the Lord. That's who's gonna fight the good fight of faith, man. Like brother, one of our brothers got that as well. Fight the good fight of faith. You know, that's who's gonna fight the good fight of faith, man. All right, is the Lord, the ones that the Lord has chosen and called them. All right, that was on there. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5, and verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Yeah. So ultimately, you know, the Lord's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty, the schemes, all right, the plans, the wicked plans that they have. All right, the Lord's going to disappoint it. You know, the NWO, all right, they're going to feel like they got it at one point, and the Lord's ultimately going to stop it. They're going to feel like, you know, they got the prophets. When they demonize us, or they persecute us, they will feel like they have it. Oh yeah, we finally got our hands upon them. All right, but the Lord's going to be delivering his man. The Lord's going to have brothers going to rise up, man. All right, and start destroying shit, man. The Lord's going to, you know, give brothers spiritual powers. All right, you know, incredible strength, speed, all these different things that the Lord's going to bless his man with to deliver him out of the hands of Esau the devil, man. All right, because these devils are going to have their hands upon us, and they're going to like the scripture says, they're going to think they got it, man. All right? That's a part of the wicked schemes, is to demonize the prophets. That's a part of those wicked schemes, those wicked devices. All right? To ultimately destroy the prophets. You know, to have a new world order where everyone's, you know, that's going with their agenda. All right? But the ones that's going to stand against it is the prophets, man. All right?
It says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty.
We're the poor, man. All right? We're considered the poor. All right? And he's going to save us, you know, from these devils. They have the power to do whatever they want right now. They don't have the power to come against the prophets of the Lord and help out the other side and to destroy us, man. All right? They don't have that type of power.
Hey,
They don't got that type of strength. We got the power of the right hand with us, man. The right hand angels, man. All right? They have the power of the left hand angels. And those left hand angels can't do nothing to us, man.
right.
You know, no matter how much they pray against us, you know, or whatever.
The wicked enchantment.
Wicked enchantment.
Got the wicked witches and warlocks. None of that's gonna work.
What is concerned? There's no enchantments. You know, that can go against the Lord's prophets. You know, we're immune to it, bro. On a solo level, you know, he has like these stats that make us immune to poison, all these different things. But we have a stat where we're immune to wickedness, man. Where we can't be put witchcraft upon us. We can't put witchcraft upon us, man. Because the Lord has us. Alright? So our devils try to come up against us. Alright, our two-thirds Jake try to come up against us. Ultimately, they get judged in return. You know, they try to, you know, curse us, and they get cursed in return. You know,
Balaam, Moabites, I cannot curse. The Most High have blessed. Okay, so the Lord has put the blessings upon us, so they'll probably sense when they try to curse your brother, like, you can't do it. Those curses ain't gonna work, man, because the Lord has anointed each and every one of us, sanctified, man.
And the other scriptures also says that, you know, Yahweh outside created, you know, good and evil, man. All right? The Lord is in control of all these things. So whatever they trying to work and do, they are in submission to Yahweh outside, man. Okay? They have to bow down to Yahweh outside. They got to answer to Yahweh outside. Okay? So, hey, this is the Lord's movie. The Lord's orchestrated this. The Lord is the director of this movie. You know, you can't get in there and try to change up the script when you already a part of the script. You see? And that's how Esau is, man. That's why even that time coming, he thinks he's going to be able to do something, but he's not going to be able to do nothing. He says his days are determined, man. All right? These devils are on a ticking time bomb, man. And soon they ain't going to be able to do that. Soon they're going to be able to eventually come to reality of knowing that their kingdom is through. They probably already know that. You know, that's why they're struggling now.
See, the poor have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh corrected, therefore despise not.
And it says, you got a news article that says, Cassie identifies 13 participants in Diddy's graphic freak-off party photos, including herself. I felt pretty horrible about myself. You felt horrible about yourself. Like brothers just said, bro, you know, the world, we're exposed in so many different ways. But too, like I said, the world will have somebody expose you. There's no protected, there's photos, everything. Alright? You probably, your name probably wasn't being brought up the whole trial. You think you good. You think you good. The next thing you know, you get exposed. You're part of that 13 participants. Damn, I almost had it. You know? And now you're exposed. Yeah,
Way right now. Hey, so that's like the scripture, Frank and I was on prosperity. Because now that they're going through this adversity, they were all in cahoots, but now they all turned against each other, man. Right. And the scriptures is talking. Hey, the Lord, literally, the scriptures are talking, and we seeing this. It made manifest before our eyes, man. That's how you know you have my shit dealing with us, man.
And now nobody's friends with this. So niggas like LeBron James, you know, I didn't say no party like a Diddy party. Right. I didn't say that. I didn't go on video, bro. He said, no party like a Diddy party. Now he saying, no party with me no more. I ain't got no groups with him, man.
And you know what's crazy too? They had everywhere you go in the comments, everybody was screaming LeBron's name, man. Alright? And you had that whole thing come out, now he became a marketer. Not his own fans mocking him. You know? Now, you know, he's being humiliated, bro. And that's the thing about having an image here in Babylon. You gotta gain it through wickedness. And once that wickedness is exposed, shame comes right out. Scripture says, pride goes before destruction. So when they come up in this industry, like these celebrities gain pride. They start looking at everybody down on people, down on things. I got this, I don't need nothing. I got a Maybach. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, that celebrity BG, he was just having his pride, man. Before that whole thing, his baby mama came out against him, he was in a little pride right. You know, I got this, I got that. You know, and the Lord brought him low just like that. Alright, that just shows you that the Lord will destroy your ass, man. The Lord will destroy your image. Alright, and he will destroy your ass with it. They was telling him he was an Israelite. He was walking stuff. You know? Hey, ultimately, we don't give a damn about that nigga. Alright, I don't really care. Alright? Ultimately, when you got is what you deserve. It's from the Lord.
Right. All this is just an example of what happens when you choose to go, you know, be with these devils, man. Is what happens when you decide to be within a wicked industry. Do you think you can still make it here on a place that's set up for destruction? This is what happens, man. So you are a prime example. This is not being brought out in the spirit of about you inside. Because see, if you still in the mindset, if you knew this and you still in the mindset of thinking you want to become a rapper, you want to be an actor, or someone famous in this place, just know that that's awaiting, man. Okay? Because you can sit here and sign this off and they can give you a temporary joy of life, but it's just coming with a wicked requirement. And it's going to lead to destruction, death and destruction. Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew 16 and verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
What we just speaking of, man. So what's your profit of individual? You shall gain all these tools and all these gadgets and all these things that come with Esau, you know, giving you that lavish lifestyle if it requires something. And in the end, go ahead.
It says, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Right, and they'll make sacrifices for this fame, man. They'll kill a family member, loved one, friend. They even self-humiliate themselves to receive that money, man.
Yeah, they got those humiliation rituals.
Exactly.
But you on point, because they'll sacrifice their loved ones.
Exactly.
Michael Jordan, he killed his father. Beyonce, who she killed?
Aaliyah, I think.
Yeah, they had yeah. You know, all these particular people that's in these positions, they had to sacrifice somebody, bro. And that's no different than us in serving Yahweh Shemel Shai. We got to make sacrifices. On the right-hand side, they making sacrifices on the left-hand side.
Hey,
And the one on the left-hand side, it look like it's prospering now. Because you're getting the money, you're getting the accolades, the awards, but that's a corruptible crown. We're doing this for an incorruptible crown.
Brother said it. Go ahead.
It
Bring it to the
says,
top.
this is Matthew 16, verse 26. For what is a man profitable if he shall gain the whole world
Hey, bro,
and lose his own soul?
did you know you were Israelite?
What?
Did you know you were Israelite? You never heard of that? Huh?
I said, I don't think y'all fuck with me. I'm big.
What your father is? Your father black? You are what your father is, bro. It ain't about being mixed, because ain't nobody mixed. You came out of your father's nutsack, right? So you a black man. You just happen to have a white mother. So the children of Israel are the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians. That's God's chosen people. When the Lord come back, he coming to save his people. And you got a part in that. I see you listening. The Spirit got you come right here to listen, bro. That's not by coincidence. That's because the Lord is calling you. You see what I'm saying?
I really ain't know. I thought y'all ain't fuck with me.
No, we fought with you. And you know, I ain't have to know that you was mixed and know that that the Lord was fucking with you. But you kept coming. I'm watching. You see what I'm saying? But hold that sign right there. See, because you got China, Russia, Iran. They finna send nukes over here. You already know. So what we doing right here is we trying to do what's necessary, giving us to the Lord, so we can be saved from that. You can't save your mother. You can't save your daddy. Even though he is Israelite, you can't save him either. The Bible says work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All you can do is do what you can do for you. Just like us, every last one of us up here, we doing what we can for ourselves in the hopes that our family can be saved too. You see what I'm saying? But you can always come chop it up with us, bro. This free. Did I ask for any money? Nah, this free. It's free game, bro. But so your father black, right? He black American? And his father? Okay, so according to the Bible, you come from the tribe of Judah. All right? I come from the tribe of Judah. We're the real Jews. All right? Yeah, you knew that, right? So we're the real Jews. We're God's chosen people. We got to come back to the Lord in truth and in sincerity in hopes to be saved, because the Lord is setting up a righteous kingdom on earth. Heaven is going to be on earth. And heaven is going to be a rulership where we're going to be in power. You ever seen the movie Black Panther? Remember Killmonger, he said, the world is starting over, and this time we're going to be on top. That's true. That's what's happening right. As America's going down, we're going up. A part of America and the white man coming out of power is us going into power. So this ain't about shucking and jiving and dancing around the pulpit. This is about rulership. The Lord establishing rulership, and he need men. You see? He said, go and teach. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's our kingdom. That's our rulership. Well, we're going to be in calling the shots. You ain't going to have to work for the white man on a Saturday. They're going to be working for you. You see what I'm saying? That's what this is about. This is about rulership, bro. This is about us going to the next level. We tired of being niggas on the wage. You know, getting cussed out for being late to work. We want to be the master. We want to be the boss. So that's what we're doing right here. This is what the Lord is establishing right now on earth. Rulership. It's the kingdom is already starting on earth right now, and it starts within us. You know what I'm saying? It's on YouTube. Because you got people that's watching. You got thousands of people that watch these videos all over the world. But you got brothers all over the world doing this right here. You know, it started in New York. But brothers are all over the world doing this right here. So as we're recording, it's going out to people that's in Italy, that's in Spain, anywhere. You know, this is so the word goes out. But also we out here to people that surround us too. Because the Lord had a word. You happen to keep passing by to hear the word, but you got people all across the world hearing the word too. This is not by coincidence, because the Lord is giving out that warning before that day comes. You see what I'm saying? When that day, I show you the Lord is fair, and he got love. Because he could have just left us all out here to die. But he set us up to come out here and teach us right here. So when that day comes, we don't get caught up in that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else, majority of people you see out here, they gonna die. And they may think, oh, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, no. This could be within months. This could be within a year. Things about to speed up. You know, there's already war going on. It's going to happen where they're going to all turn against America, and every country in the world is going to send, that have nukes, they're going to send nukes over here. You see what I'm saying? So the time is short, you know, but take down the channel. It's called Prophets in Babylon. You got a YouTube. Prophets in Babylon. You can go on it and watch it on your own time. Watch the video. I know you're at work now, watch the videos, and hey, we out here, bro. Any questions, you always free to ask. No problem, bro. It's all love.
The word is being brought forth throughout the whole world, man. This word is exposing, it's bringing out the truth and exposing the devils that lie.
Right.
See,
Hey, and the word is going out because you got Jake all over TikTok talking about some of the Hebrews, like the Hebrews, like Hebrews. He even said he knew about who the real Jews was. So I watched that brother, man. He taking the trash out and shit, but he's sitting there just waiting. He just sitting there waiting. Well, he listening. And what he said, I don't think y'all fuck with me, bro, because I'm mixed. Bro, what? We ain't ISUPK. we just went into that. Bro, we just went on the way here. That's the spirit, bro. He said, I'm mixed. I said, what your father? I already know. If you was a heathen, he wouldn't want to sit there for 5 seconds. He'll be fucking with us, you know. But through the spirit identified, and Jake be listening. Jake trying to find a way out. You come here, you clocking on the job, you working, you know. This is the only way out, man.
And he seen us doing it too, and you see on the side it said 144.
Right, that's the spirit. Yeah, he on the golf cart. I wouldn't put the camera on, but I didn't want to scare him away. But on the golf cart he on, it says 144. It's a precept. Bring it out. That's 144. So that's the spirit. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is establishing his select. The house of David is being risen up. You know, and the Lord is looking at all of us like, somebody grab that too. Who will rise up for me? Yeah. You brought it out. Bring it back out. Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for...
you know, the true knowledge here, it has to be preached amongst the whole world. And the Lord is helping us. The Lord gave us the internet to help us do that, bro. Brothers don't got to go to Africa or Israel or all these different other countries. We don't got to go fly to go teach the truth, bro. The Lord got the internet. He set it up where it can be put on the mainstream media, all right? You got videos of brothers doing camp going viral, bro. And people from different countries, different continents are seeing it. And guess what? A lot of people are being woken up from it, all right? You know, and that's all the word, bro. But go ahead, continue on.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Then shall the end come, man. So that's why the Lord is expounding this truth a lot more faster. The days are going by a lot more faster. So this word can go around the whole world, all right? And then the end shall come, so you don't have any excuse to say he didn't know. There's no way you couldn't know, man.
Right.
When you scroll past that TikTok video with brothers prophesying, or YouTube videos, or posts,
or you just passing by on the job.
Passing by on the job. You know, there's a way the Lord's going to give you to show, have you witness this truth, man. All right. And if you don't take it, then it's not for you. And ultimately, you're meant to be destroyed by a nuke. You know, but we pray that the ones that's for it is able to find it and see it, that much more quicker, so we can get the hell out of here, bro.
Yeah, that's like if you got somebody that commits a murder, and there's a witness to that murder. What he gonna do? He got to kill the witness. You see? So the Lord got everybody witnessing this truth, so that you got no excuses. You know? Exactly. You know, bring that back, brother.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
It's a witness unto all nations, man. Even Esau's finding out about their doom. Even these heathens are finding out that they're going to be servants unto us. All right? They all don't know, man. All right? Even though they mock and scoff and they look down and downplay us. All right? But in their spirits, deep down in their spirits, they know. Oh yeah, there's the power switch, man. All right? And
We went into that earlier. Yeah, it was a so-called white woman. She said, Jake asked her, "What do you prefer, a white man or black man, or what kind of men do you prefer?" She said, "Black man, because if I want, she want to make babies with a so-called black man. Because if I want my legacy to continue, it has to be with a black man. Because they understand that we're next up. Hey, Esau is gonna be hunted. What's that word? How it go? You should know, Benjamin. They be like, I'm gonna chase you out the earth.
Lucifer,
son of the morning. Yeah. Esau's about to get chased out of the earth, man. He's about to get hunted like a fucking, by like a pack of dogs. And these heathens, they turn against Esau too. That's why they're gonna burn America up. So they understand that as this man is going down, we're going up. And she said that she want to have a baby. She ready to open her legs up to an Israelite man. And no comment. And it's women like that now, bro. They want you to nut in them. Hey, you know.
Hey, even in the kingdom, bro.
How much more in the kingdom?
You know, because they gonna want some of that. They don't want to be a part of royalty.
Part of royalty, right?
Them dogs gonna be concubines and stuff, man. And we gonna have, we gonna make children with their daughters, man. All right. They're gonna try to sell their daughters over to us and their women over to us, so their family can get, some type of, connection to royalty, man.
That's right.
Right.
And that's why Jake said his father was black and his mother is white. Well, your mother did a right choice by getting with a so-called black man so that her children don't die.
Exactly.
So her children aren't slaves, because she's going to be a slave. She probably going to die. But so her children don't die, so her children don't be slaves. This is the spirit everybody going to be in.
And Esau hated, bro.
That's why you have with the movie Cinderella.
Yeah.
They was all getting their finest daughters set up to go get with the prince. So that, and then that way the whole family be good. You know?
Hey, Esau hated because Esau know, all right, if their woman going to a Jake man, all right, that child was going to be a Jake man. All right? So that's why they hate to see Jake with their woman, man. All right, that also shows that they're losing power.
That's why they got Planned Parenthood. They got these in Planned Parenthood. Go back to Egypt. Scriptures goes into when the Egyptian woman, when the Egyptian midwife did the office of the Israelite woman, they said if it was a daughter, they could keep it alive. But if it was a son, you would kill it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to cut off our lineage.
Right.
Yeah.
And Planned Parenthood, with even that's why y'all brothers, y'all having sons. I got a son. Bro, when you have a son, y'all see how demons be acting in that hospital, bro.
Yeah.
They want to target the so-called black Jakes, man. You have a son here in America, they're targeting your son. You got to protect your sons, because they understand that son's gonna grow up to be a part of an army. You know, they don't give a damn if you have a daughter. You know, you get more shit when you have a daughter, but when you have a son, they look at it at a whole nother level.
Hey, if I may add, I was watching this video on this Edomite explaining why he had voted for Trump. And I guess he had some type of opposition, but he was saying he voted for Trump because he realized that Trump was for his people.
Right.
And that his lineage and his...
The white race, the so-called Edomites.
Yeah.
That's why Trump allowing the South Africans to come over here, because they're all Edomites.
Yeah.
Trump is rallying with the Edomites. They got to stick together.
You seen that video?
What?
It was an Edomite who was expounding on that.
Nah, I didn't see that.
Pretty much they were calling a lesser and lesser. So he was like, Trump was one that stands for them.
That's why Trump deporting all these so-called Latinos and the Haitians, the Jamaicans. He deporting all them black niggas up out of here.
Yeah.
All the niggas out, and he letting South Africans come in. That's a racist fucking move.
Yo, and it was crazy because he doing that. You know he can send them over there.
Yeah.
But what about Jake? He finna start.
Jacob's trouble.
Yes.
He trying to make a sore slaughter.
That's why
He said, I'm gonna get anybody who I can't get out of here, and anybody who I can't get out of here, we gonna come kill y'all.
slave. We gonna come to
That's what the purge is all about.
Yeah.
And they also want to eradicate Jake, man. They want to erase Jake before they become erased.
Psalms
Right?
83.
And I was just thinking about that, with the hospitals, they mainly see Jake coming back and forth in those labors. Man.
Having babies.
Having babies. All right? And then Jake, you see all these boys.
But you see Edomites in the bro. I just saw a sign the other day. I was driving. It was a sign to go to a doctor. It was called a oxazone doctor or some shit. I'm like, what is that? So I looked it up.
Oxford.
Nah, what's that?
It just sounds familiar to what you were saying. Yeah.
Nah, it's like it was called an oxosub or some shit like that. But basically, it was a doctor for opioid addiction. So you got to go to a doctor now for opioid addiction, and when you go to the hospital, you see all them Edomites in there overdosing off of the opioids and the heroin and shit. That's what the Edomites come to the hospital for, because they ODing. But Jake go to the hospital because we having babies. Hey, somebody got that in Egypt too, about with rigor, because we kept multiplying.
Oh, yeah, they beating us.
The baby kids, we don't die, we multiply. Go ahead. And anytime a Jake put his dick into a woman, There's a chance of her getting pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Edomites, they can fuck all day and nothing coming out. I'm just shooting blanks. We don't shoot blanks, bro. We emptying clips. If a Jake man really wanted to, he could populate every woman on the planet.
Hey, Jake having twins and triplets. All right, and Esau can't even have one. You know, if you do have one that got Down syndrome or some shit.
Yeah, we was going to that when we're here.
You know, so, hey, bro, Esau hate that, bro. Esau's angry, bro, because they brought us over here in captivity and slavery, and now we're expounding and being fruitful over here in their rulership, man. More than they are.
And look, right behind you, you got two Eves. One is a feminine and one is a damn stud. See, Esau will let you have all these female fucking babies, so that it'll be shit like that going on. You know, because they can't produce life. In fact, they gonna bump coochies and produce STDs, produce death.
They wanna,
if you put all their ass on the island and sealed it up where they can't leave, 50 years, everybody be dead.
And they want to promote that the alphabet community to our people, because I know that only brings death, only brings disease, man. All right, and all types of infections. All right, and our people be dying off because of that, bro. So they promote now to Jake, and Jake's stupid enough and wicked enough to give over to those violent affections. You know,
if I may add, I want to tell you, I don't know if y'all already seen it this week, but I had did a lesson on it too. But you also have a women in the older folks' homes. I forgot what they call it. But you had basically an older Edomite lady. She woke up after some type of surgery. She was an elderly woman, and she was calling for her husband. And they were telling her, "Well, ma'am, you've been married to a woman for 50 years." And she said, "Why would I be married to a woman if I'm a woman?" You know, that just goes to show that
She had that dementia or that amnesia shit, Alzheimer's, yeah.
My grandma had that. And you really do forget your memory. And she said, "I want my husband. I want my husband." And when they called her so-called husband, a woman came in and she said, "Well, where's my husband?" She said, "Man, I've been married to a woman for over 50 years." She said, "Why would I do that if I'm a woman?"
Right.
And it goes to show you, hey,
That's stupid.
it's stupid. And the Lord said, that's what breeds diseases, man.
Hey, I saw a post on the way here. It was a woman that was a stud. She had a girlfriend and everything. And she cheated on her girlfriend with a dude, got pregnant, said she don't want to be gay anymore. Left the girl she was with, who was the girl. She left her to get pregnant and have children with, a man. She said she don't want to be a gay no more. I'm not gay no more.
Because you have the woman now there forsaking their natural use, right, to have babies, man. And Esau, that's what Esau enjoys. That's what Esau loves, man. That's why I said he's promoting that upon our people, because he wants our people to forsake their natural use. So we don't have those many babies on there.
All right, what's that girl named Dochi? Yeah, she's talking about straight men is a red flag. Black woman.
And she's a damn industry plant.
Yeah, that's how she is.
Hey, I got that multiply for you, bro. This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they
go up some.
You got it, everyone.
What? Oh yeah, no, you got it.
It's verse 11. It says, Exodus chapter 1, verse 11, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
This is back in Egypt, in Egyptian captivity. All right. Well, they will set over us taskmasters so they could afflict us with burdens, man. All right. Because we were enslaved to them, man. Go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities. It says,
We was building for Pharaoh. We was building those pyramids. All right. That people are so
Infatuated with
infatuated.
the Sphinx,
Yeah.
which is like the person, the cat body with the head body, with,
Jake built that, bro. It wasn't no Edith building that. No, that was Jake, because Jake was a slave. They were using Jake to build up their kingdom. All right.
and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
And that's why when you go out there in Egypt and you see those pyramids and all of them look so beautiful, bro. Because that was Jake working out there. building
hardcore
up,
bondage.
You know, in hardcore bondage, building up, you know, those Egyptians treasure cities, man.
It's the same thing today. Look at these different skyscrapers, towers.
And you got all the different, you know, the different artifacts and art that they were doing back then. That's Jake, bro.
Yeah, them
That was Jake.
being creative.
The White House. The White House. They
White
did the White
House,
House.
Go ahead. He says, verse 12, but the more they afflicted them,
Hold on. Go up. Go back up. Bring that back.
11. Okay, it says, Exodus chapter 1, verse 11, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
So they built for Pharaoh those treasure cities, man. All right, and that's what ultimately that's what all these, you know, captivities had us do, was go and be enslaved to them and build up their kingdom. You know, build up their buildings and their artifacts. All right?
That's what we're doing here in America.
That's what we're doing here in America.
Right, if I may add too, you know, if you look at some of these old Egypt movies, of course they whitewash it, but when you look at certain things that they build, it shows you an example of what there was buildings and things like that, those cities being built, man. You know, of course you would have more see those things now, but everything has been tampered with. But you know that we was there putting in that work, man. And they were beating the shit out of us just like they doing now. Alright, it says, verse 12, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Hey, so the more they afflicted them, the more they burdened our people, the more they multiplied and grew, man. So Jake was stressed out. Jake was going through hell, and what Jake do is they use this, you know, they have sex as a stress reliever, man.
That's right. That's right.
They start having those babies, they multiply, keep popping the women, you know?
Yeah. You getting stressed on the job. You go home, and you know all you can do is put your wife in subjection.
Yeah.
You know, you taking it out on her ass and back shot. All your stress, and then you got all these babies coming, man.
Hey, you be on 12-hour shifts all day in the hot sun, no breaks. No breaks, and you have to come home and you like, man, you know, you tell, lay down, bitch. You know, and you pop the woman, and then, you know, and Jake was having multiple women at that time, man. You know, so Jake was multiplying, bro, and they did not like that.
And that was we were pissing them off.
Exactly.
Like, how we thought that, you know, we thought we killed about 100,000 and they came back with 100,000.
That's what Frieza said. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Every time he came back, it was more Super Saiyans.
And that's how it is. That's how it is here in Babylon, man. Especially with Iskar, right?
And that's why Frieza he blew up the planet.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he blew up their planet to try to eradicate them.
Esau, at least he could do that, man.
The Lord preserved the remnant. There was still a remnant of Saiyans the Lord preserved.
Yeah.
The more Esau trying to embrace us right now, but the more he try to, all the chemicals he put in the air, all the food he done defiled against all the alcohol stores and drug dealers and all the drugs that he put in their neighborhoods, Jake is still multiplying more. You know? No matter how much they try to burden Jake and afflict Jake multiply that much more. Alright, like I said, you got Issacharites, man. Alright, especially, you know,
Issachar.
They have like 3 different jobs. They be working on jobs the same day, or they will sit up at Home Depot, you know, trying to get a job. Alright, and they will make sure they're working, man. And then when they go home, you know, what do you think they're doing, man? Alright? And they got the little minivans with all the Issacharites lapped up in one minivan. They just be coming out. It was a proverb about them about that, man. You know, so that just shows you how much he multiplied and he's being fruitful. And even today, and now, you know, Jake is being fruitful, man. You got, you know, a lot of Jake men, they'll have like 5, 6, 7 baby mamas, all right? You know, and they just continue going on to the next one, because it's not meant for Jake to stay upon one woman.
Hey, you had to add on, speaking on that, multiplying with the woman and the kids multiplying. Look at that rapper, Young Boy, man. He got like what, 10 kids or plus? Cause he under pressure. He signed himself over to the devil, all right, to them high elites, and now he over there stressing, and he got money. He's stressing, but he got money. He's stressing because he's required to do things that's wicked. But guess what? He making more kids. You see what I'm saying? But it shows you that Jake in the projects, in the slums, in the low income areas.
Hey, well, even, you know, like, you know, my father, these brothers' father too, he got like, our dad got like 12, 14 kids. We like 14 kids. We got brothers and sisters we ain't even met yet. You know? Yeah, so, you know, Jake is fruitful. Jake gonna multiply. That's a commandment as well.
Yeah, the proverb for that, they call it the rolling stone.
Yeah, Papa was a rolling stone. Everywhere he laid his hat was his home. So Jake go anywhere and make a home, make a family. And that's the power the Most High gave us to create life. You know?
It says
But,
continue.
you know, with that, you know, Jake is still in captivity, and it still shows that we're still a curse. We're still cursed because what? Jake getting put on child support. You know, Jake can't see his kids. You know, you had to, the rapper DDG, he can't see his son, man. He can only get to see him 13 days out of 1 year, man. And that's a curse. No matter how far you get here and back on, that you still cursed, man. All right? No matter how much you give your rent and up to these damn brothers, you still gonna be cursed, man. All right?
And if I may add, I just want to run into that this morning too. Hey, that's why the Lord's gonna bless us so heavy, man. It's gonna get to a point where it's hard to balance out in this body. But brothers gonna get to a point where brothers will be able to say, I got a trillion kids, man. I got a trillion sons. You know, and even just hearing it now is like, damn, a trillion children, a trillion sons. That's gonna be our future, man. That's our lot, our life, man. And the Lord is gonna bless us with that. Scripture say Israel is at the sand of the sea.
But we're gonna be able to keep up with all of them too, man. You know, we're gonna be able to, I gotta get my son here, I gotta get my son there. You know, and you would train them, you know, or you would just see them once or twice, 3 times out the year, just, hey, how you doing, son? You know what I'm saying? Because you got so many different sons. You gonna remember every single one of their names.
Hey, you won't have forever to do it. It says, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel, is the point, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
So they was grieved because of the children of Israel. How
So somebody grab that word rigor.
It's the word rigor. It says harshness. It says harshness.
So as they was working, it was harsh. The work was harsh, man. All right. So we working and as we working, we going through hell. You know.
I say, who wants some water?
It says harshness. It says severity, and dealing with persons, force, cruelty.
Cruelty. You know. So we were forced to work for these devils, man. All right. So they continuously put more and more fire on our ass. All right. Because they was getting mad and angry. Now we was just keep multiplying.
It says,
we kept making more babies.
Right. It says hardness, firmness, roughness, rudeness.
Yeah, they was being rude about it. They was putting Jake through hell. You know, you got pictures of those Egyptians, which are really the Sudanese, and they tall as hell. But you have pictures of them holding Jake up, you know, by the hair. You know, they was putting their foot on Jake's neck. That's why them pyramids was built so beautifully. Like, we can't duplicate this. That's because Jake was getting their ass beat, man. You had a long neck, you know, Sudanese standing over you with his foot in your neck, you know. So they was putting hell upon it. It wasn't just slavery. They was beating the shit out of us in the midst of slavery. That's why Moses ended up killing that Egyptian, because he seen how he was treating the Israelite, man.
That's what we go through in every captivity. It's rigorous, you know, slavery, rigorous work. All right, you know, I was watching Work of the Nation, and you had when they put the main character, Nat Turner, they put him out there into the cotton fields. You know, I believe he was like 10. But he was very young, man. As he's working, you know, he's getting yelled at, and you got to pick the cotton. And as you're picking the cotton, you know, you're getting cut. All right, but you still gotta keep a steady pace, or even faster. You slow down, you getting the whip to your ass, man. All right, you got to be the quota. You got to be the quota.
10 pounds of cotton.
Cotton's light, bro.
How can you get 10 pounds of cotton?
That's crazy.
It's a lot of work.
That's a rigorous work.
That's harsh work, man. So guess what? We're gonna put these devils to harsh work.
Hey, and if you didn't meet that quota, you got lashes. You know, you had a certain amount of lashes.
When they put you in on that one movie, the box,
The hot box.
They got a box. Now that you sit in the sun, and the brother had did it.
That was Django.
Yeah,
Django, yeah.
Django. And you seen that video recently. Now what they doing in Louisiana, they have a horse carriage outside in the sun. And when Jake don't want to pick that cotton while they're in prison, they throw you in there, man.
And that shit is baking in the sun. So when you get in there, that shit burning you up. You know, it's metal.
I got a precept.
It's like getting in the car and you know you've been sitting in the sun all day and you get in that mother to touch the dashboard, that be hot as I don't know what. That be baking now. That be something.
Hey, by the way, too, when you get in your car and it's hot like that, you really got to roll the windows down and let that shit air out because the interior of the car, once it bake like that and get hot, those fumes are poisonous. It causes cancer. You know, show you we in hell.
I got a precept.
You got to get the
Yeah. Yep. I was on that. Hold on, bro. It's more?
That was the word I had grabbed ready.
Okay, well go back to that precept. Finish that up.
Okay, so
Go back up a verse and then finish it up.
Okay, going up to verse 13 or verse 12, it says, "But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel." With the point,
They was getting mad, bro. It was damn, bro. The more we get more hell in these damn Jake, there's more of them coming out. We can't get rid of them. We're like, we doing everything we can, all right, to stress Jake out and afflict Jake. You know how you have it where when they don't like you, or probably at work, you be at work, he don't like you, put extra work on you on purpose, like your boss or your manager. He give you insane tasks to do. So that's how they were doing every single Israelite, bro. They don't like that. They gonna give you some insane tasks to do, and Jake was still doing it. And he would go home, be stressed out about it, and still popping women and bringing forth more children.
do some other insane tasks.
You know?
It says,
Verse 13 is important. Because imagine having more slaves than you have masters, man. That's a country to be soon overtaken, man. So we have more slaves in captivity, that those slaves are going to be like, you know what, bro, we got way more numbers than you. We can just overtake these niggas, man. All right? And that's why these devils were seeing that when we was in actual slavery, they see that they couldn't embrace us. We were kept multiplying. It was like, okay, you know, in the movie Birth of a Nation, it was at a plantation. It was like the slaves starting to revolt more, and it's a lot of them, a few of us. All right, so we need a preacher to come in and deceive them
and to pacify them.
Exactly.
That's what the Christian church does. It pacifies our people. It takes all the fight and bark out of a man to the point where they just, you know, they just lie down.
Exactly. We can fight with these devils, and that's what these devils did now, bro. All right, it's like, okay, it's getting too many of these niggas. It's going to get to a point where they're going to protect us. All right, so that's giving the delusion of being free, being in the land of the free, but they were, you know, conditioned to take that slave. Their condition wasn't free. That's called this land of free, giving the delusion of being free. So they multiplying them, and we still killing them and killing them hard rigorous work. All right, without them knowing. And Jake found for it. See? All right.
it says, with the point verse 15, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Verse 14, and they made their lives bitter with all bondage.
They made their lives bitter with hard bondage, hard slavery, hard captivity, rigorous work. All right? And as you're doing this work, you're getting, you know, put up on your neck. You know? You're getting chastised, you're getting afflicted. And it just makes the work that much harder. All right? So then the Egyptians were like angry because as they were doing that, you know, Jake wasn't, you know, like, Jake wasn't reducing the numbers of them. You know? Jake keep coming back more and more and more. You know? Yeah, you starting to get irritated, bro.
Or it's like you ever seen like somebody smash a pregnant spider,
Yeah.
and all the little babies come out and start scattering. Ooh,
Like,
ooh.
and you can't get them all.
And now you're overwhelmed.
And now you're overwhelmed. You know, some of the little baby spiders go hide in the wall somewhere. Now they growing up. And now they haven't been. You know?
It says, finishing up, in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
All the service. building the pyramids, building their buildings, making their buildings, they would serve in rigorous, slavery, hard bondage. All those things was built through that hard bondage, all right? And Jake was having more and more babies, and it was giving them, at the same time, it was giving them more slaves, all right, to continue to build up their kingdom.
They thought the problem was, it wasn't that they was having more babies, it was that the fact that the enemy came to overtake Egypt, Jake would join forces with them.
Yeah, there's a precept for that.
Yeah, there's a precept for that.
Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, see if you can find it. About how lest they rise with the enemy and overtake us.
Yeah. But, Jake, you have all these different, so many Jake, right? But all of those Jake, build up Egypt.
This is the book of Exodus, the one.
Hold on. Was that on that? Okay.
Exodus 1 and verse 10, you start at verse 8. It says, now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Right? Because when you go into the history of it, the former Pharaoh, he was cool with Joseph. And then arose a new Pharaoh that didn't know Joseph. It says, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Mightier, showing you that we're stronger.
Yeah.
We're stronger than all these nations, man.
Better genetics.
Better genetics. We're going into that. Even amongst the Hamites. The Hamites long and linky, soft as shit. They punch like pillows. But Jake's strong. You see how Goku be punching? They punch a hole through your fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's Jake, bro. One people shall be stronger than the other.
So they're more mightier than us, man. So you got one Jake that can take out two Jake, two of them at least, man.
Hey, you probably had Jake back then looking like damn Ronnie Coleman,
Right.
All big.
Yeah, because he was working.
Yeah.
He was working, and he was eating good food. He was eating the probiotics and prebiotics. Jake was eating the good food. Jake was in that bitch.
Whoa, Lord.
You know?
That was a scary sight, especially for the ones that are ruling. It's for the slaves to look more mightier and be more mightier than you. Like I said, we're slaves to them, bro. We had a video I was going to on TikTok, and it was like, black people versus white people in the truck. They had the white people start off first, to race, and then you had Jake call up to him like that, and they was just like, it's their genetics. they couldn't help but admit they're black.
No matter what obstacle is in our way, we just better than you.
And one of the Edomites, they was like, I was running, all I see was a black flash and come right by me. It was funny. At the same
A-Train.
time, yeah.
Jake is getting further and further away. It's called an A-Train because when he running so fast, it sounds like a train coming to you. It goes in the same verse 10. So I'm going to read verse 9 again, actually. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Hey, that sounds like Frieza. Because Frieza was afraid of what? He was afraid of the Super Saiyan. It says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war.
So they were like, hey, let's deal wisely with them.
Shalom, Akim, Yahabashim, Shai, Bashim, Kuresh, Pakatam. Who got a cord and
mighty they are. Go ahead.
they got a cord?
It says, it says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us. And so,
Hold on, bring that back.
It says, when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
When they come out to any war, they gonna join the enemy. They were scared of that, bro. They were terrified. They were turn on them. Let's be a little wise with it. That's sometimes let's be a little light on the alright? So when we do go on war and our enemies do try to overtake us, they don't go into other forces.
You see what happens on slave movies. When the slaves, when they finally get to a revolt, they go against that slave master that was getting an asshole to them. What they do, they made Jake turn up on even more. They were more violent against them, man. Right? That's why they tried to do that. It was like, let's ease up on them because they
gonna ease up on him. It set taskmasters over Jake to inflict them harder. But they'll make if Jake try to rise up against them, they will make an example out of that Jake, so the other Jakes don't revolt. You know,
But you would have it where, Jake. You would have it where Jake would have, they would be ready to revolt, man. Especially in slavery. At any moment, you have one Jake that will start up a whole revolt. And that's what happened in that time. He was like, you know what? The ones that's ready to fight for their freedom, stand up. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? No, and there was a lot of Jake that stand up and join against the force. It was just one Jake, all right, that messed it up for the rest. It's always that one Jake that messed it up for the rest, man.
All right, we're ready to die for it. Yeah, well,
now,
yeah. See, now those behind.
they said in the movie, but that actually happened. And it's the same thing. You see that now. Who was willing to die for the kingdom of heaven to be established? And you got it for niggas to sit down. Niggas ain't rising up, bro.
And that's a form of how Jake is now. You like, you telling Jake when you about to, do shit. Alright, because you can't pray about the other side.
Rulership.
All the rulership we gonna have. And then you got Jake that's still wanna, man, I'm looking at this right here. They like being pressed. They like them. I get to go home, put the feet up, go to 9 to 5. Hey, man.
Don't you just do what Master say. That's it. You don't got to worry about nothing.
Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, man. Well, niggas telling some, y'all trying to manifest Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, nigga. Hey, let's get this shit over with. Let's get it on, man.
And that's why they were calling him a house nigga, man. Because they would be in the house with the AC and all the good, attributes and things. They didn't want to pick that up.
Getting popped by the master.
Yeah, getting popped by the master.
Niggas got Stockholm syndrome. They was in there falling in love with the master. Master, we sick, master. We, and the slave nigga was like, hey, I'm trying to kill the nigga. That's the difference.
You gotta get to that nigga to get to the slave master.
Right, Steven. Sneaking off the Django. I was telling my coworker that shit, because that nigga be acting like Steven off the Django. I said, man, these motherfuckers had all stick together. And when it comes to the niggas, y'all flipping on each other. It's like crabs in the barrel. Like, damn, nigga, like, Steven. Come on, Steven. And then the nigga actually looks like Stephen A, the sports,
Like Stephen A.
Yeah, he like Stephen A. Smith. So I said, damn, Steve, I call him Steven. You ain't here quick to go tell. They don't tell on each other. They work together. They all getting raises, riding around in new trucks and shit. We over here scrubbing crumbs together because of your snitching ass. Damn, Steven, they ain't worried about it. You more worried about it than they is. That's the fucking nigga, bro. That's why we can't wait for Lord to kill all you fucking 2/3 niggas. To hell with you. We ain't trying to shake hands. You ain't our people. Fuck y'all niggas, bro.
Everybody has.
But Esau did that shit.
And Jake be snitching on their brother.
Yeah.
They the first to tell the master. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me where he is now. He actually cornbread.
Nigga, say y'all for X piece of cornbread.
Well, look, master. You ain't here for me, but hey, what that way?
That's what happened in the movie The Birth of a Nation. The little nigga told on him. And the first guy, he was like, nah, man, you get him out of here. He too young. And that was the reason why he died, because another nigga told on him, man. That's why you can't trust these fucking niggas, bro. We don't trust none of you fucking niggas, but the Lord gonna kill you fucking niggas. That's why we in the spirit of fuck 2/3. Because it's you same niggas that's holding us back, man. You niggas will fight tooth and nail for this damn devil. Well, you gonna melt with his ass.
Like your own brother for the brother.
That's the Matrix. That's that Matrix movie. He said, when he said in the Matrix, he said, these people don't want to wake up. They will fight tooth and nail for this system to continue.
Right. And even in when we was in Egypt, you had niggas that was complaining, bucking up, trying we should just stay in Egypt.
Right.
But go your bitch ass back to Egypt then, nigga.
Right.
You get out of being oppressed. You get somewhere where you ain't getting your ass whooped, being put in protection. Lord feeding you. You talking about going back?
Niggas was still talking shit.
Because you had a little bit of leverage or something.
And that's like white 100 now. That's something for white being niggas. A lot of you niggas was born here in America.
Because they getting them benefits.
Yeah, y'all get the benefits and y'all can't see past America, man. Y'all living in the flesh. Y'all looking at what y'all can see. The money, cars, clothes, and hoes, I suppose. That's all they looking at, man.
Right.
They can't imagine them being over Esau and them, being a god. They can't imagine themselves flying, man, with spiritual power. That's why niggas want to stay here, man.
They think America's the end all be all.
Yeah, con. But that's how they gonna learn after death by pain, man. Y'all gonna understand that and realize, hey, the Lord has something bigger and better in store, and he was trying to understand that through his problems, man.
That's right.
It goes on to say, when there falleth out any war, they join also into our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
And that's what Esau doing right now with them deportations. He getting them up out of the land, but he bringing more his people in here. And them South Africans are racist as hell. They was into that apartheid, which was basically it's over there, which they in Africa and somebody else shit talking about, you know, it was segregation. You know, it was segregated. So now you bringing them racist ass Edomites over here. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be worse. You know, yeah, but it's the same Edomite spirit.
And they giving their ass all sorts of damn.
Oh yeah. They got houses. They got everything paid for. They got a, you know. But they couldn't give Jake shit.
Yeah.
But they'll get them whatever they want to live a comfortable life here.
I was in this damn Northern Kingdom man going hell. He was going hell about how they was getting goddamn benefits. And it was like, we still over here struggling.
Right. Not to mention Jake.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about the other day. I was talking about, well, you niggas, y'all lazy. Y'all could have started how y'all could have got a house. Nigga, you know about Black Wall Street, motherfucking Rosewood. I can name all day long black towns where Jake was flourishing and got burnt down or destroyed by Edomites. Or flooded, yeah. Nigga, cause you got the Haitians coming over here, Jake. Oh, you Black American, why don't you guys, bitch, snap out of it. You in the land of your captivity. Nigga, you gonna find out. All right? Because there was times where we did rise up and we did have our own communities with everything in it. We was good. Esau came in there and burnt that shit down.
Hey, you had the move back in 1985 where they bombed them. Because they was coming up with, Jake was trying to come together. All right? And they titled their organization The Move. All right? And there's still people that still living that can tell you the story about what happened.
Right.
All right? There was a video, you probably seen some chat there was a video with Jake. He was a kid at the time. All right? And he remembers seeing people's houses on fire, bombs blowing up, and Esau just coming in regular, man.
Yeah. And that's what Esau was doing.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, and it happened all over America, bro. Down here in Florida, you name it. There's a map where you can show you all the black towns that was burnt down or destroyed by envious, demonic, racist Edomites, man. Yeah, they would come through, with truckloads. They'd be on the back of the trucks. Right.
Hey, you know what's crazy, bro? Jake be thinking they can get the guns and go fight against these devils, bro. But these devils will destroy your neighborhood just like that, man. Because I was looking into it as well, in that the Move organization, the way they did it was they was doing aerial bombing.
What's going on over there?
But they was doing they was doing the whole aerial bombing in town, bro. And that was because Jake was trying to rise up against the devils, man. All right, but they shut that down real quick.
If I may add to it, that's why these Edomites look like Jake moving into their neighborhood. I don't know if y'all
They say there goes the neighborhood.
No, not even just that. They had I think Mike Epps did a movie where him and his family moved into a neighborhood, and basically the power went out and the blackout went out, and all the neighbors were coming to try to kill them to get them. Yeah, it was that.
Right, and that's how it is, bro. Yeah. That like the movie that show They or Them. They showing you this shit over and over again. Jake still don't get it, bro. And that's what's gonna happen here in America. Jacob's trouble when the lights go out. Them Edomites gonna start rocking. Listen, I was talking about that shit the other day, bro, because I was in traffic and there was an Edomite that put up next to me. Some funky ass Edomites put up next to me in the truck. I'm gonna show you. They was in the truck and I'm at the light. I look over there and they was like this. But they was looking at me like this. Like it's acting weird. I'm like, what the fuck? I started looking at my laugh. Like, then another truck passed by with Edomites from the back of that truck. I started thinking, I said, what if it came a day where all these Edomites came in the green and they said, I should start attacking them? What niggas gonna do? Niggas gonna be out there, hey, but trying to be cool and they gonna be hunting your ass, man.
Ultimately, we got Edomites behind closed doors that's already killing each other.
You're right. They waiting, right.
That's why we're all hell breaking. We have all those races coming out first in.
Hey, I was at work, man, and I was working, my coworker had got into this conversation, and this right?
That's how Edomite says.
He said he got all that. I said, so what you gonna do if some stuff happens? He gonna be in a tree somewhere sniping something. I said, how the hell Jake gonna fight that, man?
If it's brown, put it down.
Give it back to him. Hey, just look back on history how they did it, Jake. Look at Emmett Till. Bro, they came and grabbed him out of his sleep, bro. Grabbed him out of his sleep.
Just for 50 years later, the bitches say that she lied.
Jake, and the thing is, I was thinking about it. I was like, bro, I'm gonna watch the movie, but then I stopped myself from watching it.
It's gonna make you mad.
It's gonna make you
Bro,
mad.
I stopped myself from watching it too. I started watching it and I had to turn that shit up. I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna get fucking mad, bro. You know? Yeah, I might fucking want. You say one more thing, bro. You say one more thing.
So I'm watching. I seen a little clip on TikTok, and they grabbed him out of his sleep, and I'm thinking like, damn, Jake, you got these crackers coming in your house and grab, bro. My
Ain't one nothing they can do. They all would have died.
Right.
Hey, when I was in high school, my junior year, my teacher had made all of us watch it, bro. And you had Jake on one side of the room. The whole team on the other side. And Jake was like, fuck, like, you know, you can see Jake irritated their face, like, what the hell? Like, why do you do that to him? He started just looking down.
And that's the history they're trying to hide.
Yeah.
They don't want you to learn about that history in school, and where they got something called critical race theory, where they don't want you to learn about this in school anymore, man. Hey, there was a video that came out from this guy, Banky Pound. He was in prison for like 33 years, and he said he gave an account. The pastor did the video on it, how he gave an account how they stopped allowing them to watch those movies in prison. Because anytime those slave movies or those movies came on the prison, you know, and they were all, because you know, prison, they all sit around and watch it. Any movie come on, any show, when they sit around and watch it. So if they sit around and watch that shit, they say how the black prisoners would get so fucking mad and they'll start abusing the white prisoners. So they had to stop letting them watch those movies, and they literally banned any racial movies from coming into the prison system.
I'm watching that clip, and I'm getting so mad, bro. His mother described the way she seen him. Like, she said it like somebody took a hatchet and just chopped his face.
And they was torturing him,
Then
man.
They burnt him in oil. Look at the image of Emmett Till's face. Right there, you on the side. Look at his face on the left and then look at his face on the right.
His eyeballs gone.
She said his eyeballs hanging down his face. So you cracked this guy. You know the face, man.
And then it came out years later, decades later, that she lied. The lady lied. So it wasn't even like, you know, the nigga shouldn't did that. You lied.
And then they put it in the movie that he did it.
Oh, they put in the movie he did it?
The movie that he whistled.
Wow.
I see now, I was like, wow, that's bullshit.
Right.
He ain't even fucking whistle.
I'm already getting mad. All right.
You lose your life over something so small as that, man. Literally, that was a different time. Something that right now so free, you can really just,
Oh,
you lost your life behind that.
Lord, he was giving us power. He was giving us wisdom at the same time. Everything that he did to us, man. Imagine how bad we were. That's why these devils are scared, bro. Because these devils know the Lord's going to give us that number, man. These devils know the Lord's going to expose us. He's going to get power into his elect, man. And guess who they're coming from? The man that's been punching, bro. They're going to be hunting you down devils down, bro.
Hey, bring that out. Finish that up. Bring it out.
That was it.
Bring it back. Let's grab these precepts. Who was reading? Bring it back.
The book of Exodus 1 and verse, we'll start at verse 10 on the EKV. It says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass, that when there falleth out any war, they join also into our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
And that's why Esau on this side, he pacified Jake, telling him that Abraham Lincoln freed them.
Right.
You know, always trying to make the so-called white man a savior, which is that whole, you know, Jesus image, you know, but really, you know, that they will pacify Jake to try to avoid an ass whooping. They try to avoid Jake jumping up and rising up against them. Go ahead.
I got a precept real quick.
Book of Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16.
Obadiah 1 and verse 10 in the GNT, because you robbed and killed your relatives
the descendants of Jacob, you will be destroyed and dishonored forever.
They robbed and killed us, man. All right, like I said, bro, so many things these devils did that we don't even know about, bro. That, the whole immature thing, that was just one incident, bro.
There's many imitators.
It's many imitators. And there's many more that's worse than that. There's many dudes that got done way worse than that, bro. All right? You got Jake that faced prison time, and they just get out for being falsely accused by a white woman, or Edomite woman.
See, look how the Edomites did Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai got done with the immature. So you Edomites got hell to pay.
Hey, I was talking to the brother about this video that came across. It was this Jake who had went to get his car touched up on, and he ended up leaving his car at the shop. All right, now I don't know if it's like maybe a few years ago or whatever, but it's recently just came up, and how he had threw something on the ground. This was a napkin. The lady came out to be a napkin, but his Edomites called the police on him and told him that he dropped some weird, strange stuff, liquor on the ground. So they went and found the Jake at the store. They grabbed him, beat the hell out of him, all right, to the point where they gathered him and they took him back to the cell. And his mama was able to get contact by the people that was there. Now this is the point is messed up. Because when his mama was able to get to him to the point where she was able to speak to him, he said, "Mama, they gonna kill me, pretty much." And he was jacked up when she seen him. He was all jacked up, like messed up. And then later on that night, he was unlocked, man. So Esau gonna pay for all the wickedness that he done done, the violence that he done done to the apple of Lord's eye. You see, you gonna have to pay for that, man. You ain't gonna be able to just get away scot free. That's why these
Skate off into the sunset.
Yeah.
We all gonna be in heaven together. You crazy? Go ahead, Brandon. Precepts out.
It goes on to say, Obadiah 1:15 to GNT, the day is near when I, the Lord, will judge all nations. Edom, what you have done will be done to you. You will get back what you have given.
So what these devils have brought on to us will be given back unto them, man. The evil, the wickedness, all right, the slavery, the hard bondage. You don't have to go through that captivity, bro. All right. There was we had RDC World. Brothers bring it out, every time. But they was making a parody about when Jake get powers, bro. And they gonna tell you, they're like, oh, what are you gonna do with your powers? You're gonna be a superhero. Nah, whatever y'all did to us, we're gonna do it back into y'all.
Right.
So, what do you mean?
And that show you that's in Jake's spirit. That's in Jake's heart.
Exactly. Jake waiting for something to happen like that, bro.
He said, "Oh, you talking about in 1982?" He said, "Hey, you said it."
Exactly. And that's why these wicked elites, they're so terrified of the prophets, bro. Because they know that we understand, like, man, you devils wrong with us, bro. We still think about it, bro. The rest of these damn Jake, they probably trying to,
Well, they'll say it was the past, but we still suffering for it today. This is how they got ahead, and this is what's got us behind. Not to mention, you got Black Wall Street, Rosewood, Jake was coming back up and was doing better than the Edomites in those particular towns, and Esau came through and burnt that down.
Well, you still got sundown towns.
Still got sundown towns.
So how can you forget? How can you forget when you can't drive into a neighborhood at a certain time of night?
And then the police brutality.
Yep. Then you had, Jake getting hung. All right. You had that one Jake that went to Walmart. They try to say he hung himself. But we know Jake did that. Man. We know Esau did that. And the devils, got a hold of him, bro.
It says, verse 16, my people have drunk a bitter cup of punishment on my sacred hill, but all the surrounding nations will
we drunk a bitter cup of punishment, man. And we were punished, and we had to go through the hell, So, go ahead,
but all the surrounding nations will drink a still more bitter cup of punishment. They will drink it.
So all the nations that had a hand in our captivity, or a hand in our slavery, we gonna drink an even more bitter, cup of punishment. All right, worse than what we had to go through.
They will drink it all and vanish away. So the Lord gonna make all of our enemies disappear, man. You're gonna go into slavery to supermen, superwomen, and super children. All right. It goes on to say, jump down a few verses. Verse 21, the victorious men of Jerusalem will attack Edom and rule over it.
So the victorious gonna become hunters, man. They're gonna attack you, man. All right? The Lord's gonna give them that power. The Lord gonna give brothers power, man. All right? To be, many heroes, man. All right? To repay upon you, brothers, what you have brought upon us.
It says, and the Lord himself will be king.
The Lord himself will be king, man. All right? We're gonna glorify the Lord in his name. You already know that.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, we're gonna get all these on crazy. I thought about shooting on the shot, man. Yeah, we're gonna be able to put our foot back on these doubles neck. See, right now they got their foot on neck. But right now, at the same time, that foot that they on our neck for so long is starting to loosen up. You know? It's like, hey, it's like you got a foot on your neck like this, but it's coming off, but somebody here pulling up with this. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's how it is right now. He trying to put pressure, but he can't. It's coming off. All right? And Esau about to find out what it feel like when he's gonna be in a press, man.
So the brother out there said it beautifully. What he said Esau gonna be a damn endangered species. You look at these Animal Planet documentaries, and Esau be showing you these animals that is on the brink of extinction. We're gonna be documenting Esau on the brink of extinction.
It says, I got to put in Jeremiah 16 and verse 16. It reads, behold, I will send for many fishers.
Right now we're fishing, bro. We're fishing for the elect. We're fishing for the man that's coming to the sea, coming to the understanding. All right? Being prophets, we try to, find, teach the truth to the man that was meant to get it, bro. All right?
Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, Yahweh, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters.
Right now we're in the season of fishing. All right? And when you're fishing, you may cast a net into the sea, and you may catch a lot of fish. But a lot of them, not good to clean to eat. So you gotta take out the unclean ones, and the unclean ones gotta get sifted out of the net. All right? And the clean ones gotta get kept. But then, once that season of fishing is over, there's gonna be a time of hunting, man. And the Lord's gonna make his man hunt. Down the niggas, already 2/3 niggas, and spits and devils, man. That's evil.
If I can back you up and expound on the fishing, even when you consider fishing, it's an aspect of being patient. The fish may not come, it may rain, you gotta go back. But when you consider the aspect of being a hunter, you're pursuing your prey. You're not waiting.
Exactly. There's no difference from a fisher who's on a boat and he's going that
Casting the net.
Yeah. But then afterwards, hey, what they do? They go scuba dive. Now they become hunters. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we're going to be, become those hunters again, man. Okay, so, it says, verse 16, read from the top, it says, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, outside, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
So the Lord will send many hunters to hunt you out of the hills and holes of the rocks. All right? And these devils trying to hide, man. These devils trying to get away. But they ain't going to be able to get away from the man. The man of the Lord, man. All right? I was doing that.
I got a precept. This is the book of Isaiah 32 and verse 1. Look, and it's NLT by the way. Look, a righteous king is coming.
A righteous king, which is Yahweh Shai. He's coming. And the Lord, appointed Yahweh Shai to rule over Israel, man.
And honest princes will rule under him.
Honest princes will rule under him. Those honest princes are the prophets. All right? The man of the Lord. That was good all the way to the end. That stayed faithful. All right? That were honest to the Lord. Okay? All right?
It says, Salakia, verse 3, Salakia, verse 2, each one will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm.
The Lord will raise up many heroes, man. Brothers. All right? Because even though we're going to be, the Lord will make us hunters, our Lord will also have us, protecting some of the people that he needs to be protected. Some of the that need to be protected, man. All right? So these men will be like a refuge, man. A shelter from the wind and the storm. All right? And that's when Jake, going to follow after these men. We're going to follow after the prophets, the man of the Lord.
like the streams of water in the desert, in the
What's up?
shadow of a great rock in a parched land. And bro,
How old you is?
what's your name? Yeah, so what we teaching right now?
Hey, how old are you?
10.
About to be a man.
What we teaching right here, look out, you see, walking by, you're looking, the teacher right here is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, are going to be the next rulers, man. All right? Under the Lord, Yahweh Shai, who that ignorantly called Jesus. Israel. Before, in church, or, who this is? You got the horns, though? Yeah, that's what they taught you. They taught you that this man was God, but this man was the Messiah. Ultimately, this was the devil that they painted and they deceived us with. So ultimately, what we're telling you is that the true Messiah is the so-called black man, All right, he's coming back to save his people. All right. Now I got a question for you. What is your race according to your father? What are you? Black. So your dad is a so-called African American. Okay, so you be from the tribe of Judah. All right. So with that knowledge, all right, you're pretty young, but you're getting up to that age. What we're teaching is that you want to serve the Lord Yahweh God. So when he does come back, all right, you can be saved from the coming nuclear missile fire. All right, because we're coming to a time where the world, as we know it, is going to change. All right, it's not going to be no more people just playing ball, and there's going to be marriages and people partying. That's going to change, and the reason why it's going to change is because it's coming to a time where the Lord is going to destroy this place. All right, but before that destruction comes, this is going to come, which is called the MOTB in the Bible. All right, it's RFID chip, and it's a chip that they're going to implant into your skin, and you want to deny that. You want to say no to that. That's a no-no. All right, because when the devil's trying to come, they try to get that chip in your hand, and the Lord comes back and you got it, you won't be saved. So all we teach you right here is that we come back into the Lord, serve the Lord, and that we're chosen people who are
Yeah, you an Israelite. You ain't black. You an Israelite, and you 10. See, the age of accountability is 12. Right now, you under your parents, but as you turn 12 years old, then you under the age of accountability. That's when you start becoming the man. You start going through puberty. You start wanting to go out more. So what the brother telling you is, as in your young age, start seeking the Bible. You got a phone? Go on YouTube and type in Prophets in Babylon. All right, and watch these shows, watch these lessons. But grow. You're very impressionable. See, what's going to happen is the white man going to have you being getting taught the wicked way. But the Lord got men up setting you down the righteous path, or the right way. All right?
You're an Israelite. All right?
From the tribe of Judah.
From the tribe of Judah. All right, the head tribe. You gotta come back into the Lord so you can be saved from that. There's nuclear fire. There's going to be hell brought upon earth. And you don't want to be a part of that hell.
He said what?
That's all we was YouTube.
Okay.
Hey, ultimately, we are YouTube.
We on YouTube.
Our platform is on YouTube. But we're bringing out the truth. All right? We're bringing out the true word. We're not just out here, making content.
Brain rock content. Because these streamers, they making brain rock content, man. But the point is, we're making real content for the Lord. So if you're going to be a YouTuber, you want to be a righteous YouTuber. Pushing out righteous content instead of just a bunch of garbage.
Good work. Good fruit. That's what's going to bring upon you salvation. All right? But what I'm going to say, from the top of James, verse 3 in the NLT, Isaiah 32 and 3, then everyone who has eyes will be able to see the truth, and everyone who has ears will be able to hear it. And everybody's going to notice and they're going to see the truth. They're going to realize who the right men were from the beginning. All right? The brothers that were prophesying that they mocked and scoffed, all right? Because they looked at these damn devils, all right, at a high level. They looked at these devils as an angel of light, all right? But they're being exposed now, all right? Everyone's going to hate these devils. They don't hate Satan, bro. They really fought us. All right? See how they get exposed now? This is
just the low level. But the type of exposure that the Lord's going to bring upon Esau, Edom, all right, is going to have everyone wanting to persecute him, man. All right?
It says, even the hotheads will be full of sense and understanding. Those who stammer will speak out plainly.
So even the hotheads, all right, Jake don't know nothing, Jake was prideful, they don't want to listen, all right? They ain't going to be understanding. They gonna be like,
And that was us some of us prior to coming into this truth. You know?
but some Jake got to see it to believe it. And they gonna see these devils for who they really are. They don't realize what these devils will have to do with them. You know?
It says, in that day, ungodly fools will not be heroes. Scoundrels will not be respected. For fools speak foolishness and make evil plans.
Hey, ungodly fools. That day, ungodly fools.
Will not be heroes.
So ungodly fools are Esau, Edom. They look down to the world now. Americans look down and put on the pedestal right now. Right? Like an angel of light. Right? And in that day, they will be respected, right? Alright? They're going to be exposed. They're going to be seen for the dirt and the wickedness that they have sown, right? Alright? And that's what's going to bring them to a lower state. And that everyone's going to be trying to persecute them. See how everybody's trying to pick up Diddy? They don't like Diddy, they mad at Diddy. Alright? Because at one point Diddy was on the high. Alright? Everybody was like, oh, what's Diddy? You know he was a celebrity. And now he's become one of the most hated niggas. Alright? Because they figured out all the things that he was doing behind those doors and who he was doing it with. You know?
For fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord.
That's what Esau was doing. Alright? You know, they were practicing ungodliness. And even our people, man. Even two-third judge. They're fools, man. Alright? They went against the Lord. They came against the Lord and his prophets. Alright? That's why when the Lord comes back, he's going to expose everything. They're going to, another thing's going to do is who the true prophet of the Lord is. Right? And who the Lord is.
They deprive the hungry of food and give no water to the thirsty.
That was the prophet of the hungry of food. Right? Jake. You know what I'm saying? They deprived him of food. Gave him no water. You know? And that's how it was in Samuel in captivity. Even now. They can't eat all the time. They go to sleep. They go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? They can't afford no groceries. They ain't even no prices are going up now. They could barely afford it back then. Well, that's all because they were in captivity right now. First people.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. It says, so you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, but it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein.
They defiled his name with their blood. They defiled his name with their blood. When they went to slavery, when they went to captivity, even now. Right? I was just talking to his dad, Edom, like they were at my job. He was telling me how he be speeding down this down Valley, right? And he got pulled over like 6-7 times. And he even got written warnings. And he still hasn't gotten a ticket that he had to pay. He said the only ticket he had to pay was a red light ticket. So we are not the same, man. These devils got all different type of curses because of who they are. But if that was us, we wouldn't even get a written one. They wouldn't get no written one, man.
Scripture says they are not troubled as other men.
Exactly.
So these Edomites, they can do some shit and get away with it. We had a comedian Mike Epps. He said, shit, white people got the car when the police got the car. What the fuck you pull me over for? You did not even think about getting out of the car and snap on the police.
What?
Make an example out your black ass.
What I'm telling you. It was just, I seen a TikTok from Jake that was paralyzed from, you know, all the way from the bottom to his legs. So they would keep telling him to get out of the car. He's like, I can't get out of the car. I knew you can't. And they literally forced Jake to get out of the car. They put him down in his leg cuffs, bro. Alright? He was like, damn, man, you know, they put me in cuffs, bro. I can't even walk. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really care about that. You know, they don't care. You know, Jake they ready to take you out the west, bro. You know what I'm saying? They were waiting for you to say you can't walk. He's resisting. He's resisting. You can't walk. Get out. You know, they forcing him to get out. All right, and to the point where they persecuted him right there on the street. Put him in handcuffs, man. All right.
It goes on to say, for blood had defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Yeah, so a sacrifice is required. You know, and you people are the sacrifice. You're going to get burnt up here in America, man. America is one big altar. Okay? America is one big altar, and you people are the sacrifice, man. Okay? Because they're not covered by your outside sacrifice. And that's how this
Must be cleansed by your blood, bro. All right, that's why we're going to bring down and done the destruction and these meats which are originally meant for Esau. All right? Start Esau, man. You know?
Defile not therefore the land which you shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. For I, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, shall dwell among the children of Israel. Yes, so the Lord dwelling amongst us. And guess what? You know, He's going to take us from this land and He's going to actually put us in our homeland where that land isn't going to be defiled. America is defiled, bro. It's defiled by blood. Everywhere you step is stolen property. Who you have it, they got a this park has a name. Before it had a name, it was someone's home. Alright, the Seminole Indians, the Native American Indians, this was their land. You stole it, you murdered and raped, robbed and, you know, did all type of deception for it, man. You don't think it's a judgment for that?
Lord, see, that's what I said. Lord, see all of this, bro. Things that we don't know, we can't even comprehend or think of. Exactly. Or what has been exposed. So you're going to see everything that's going to happen with you, bro. And imagine how bad you're going to be. Imagine how bad you're going to be for Esau when they get that power. It's going to be happening, bro.
All those Israelites that was murdered, raped, robbed, they all coming back in the kingdom. And the Lord is giving that memory.
Oh, yeah.
So you got guys like Emmett Till, you know, Jake that was what his name? Talil Rice. All these shits that just happened, these strange cases just happened. Yeah. They all gonna be in the kingdom, man. Yeah. They all see what's that lady name? They got away with the Emmett Till murder. Yeah. Whatever the hell, she in the court. The point is, in this life, she seems to got away. But see, you didn't consider that you must pay for it after death. So you ain't get judged here. Cool, look at your little 60 days, you did 60 years. Okay? Now you gotta belong to that man for 1,000 years.
And then you get eradicated. Right? Then you get eradicated, bro. And then you get erased. You know?
This is 1 Timothy 6 and verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called and has professed a good profession.
Fight the good fight of faith. And that's what we're doing. Alright? Exposing these devils. Exposing the truth. And what these devils have been doing to us. Alright? We have the wicked devices and plans that they set up against us. We're exposing it all, bro. And we're fighting that good fight of faith. Alright, bring back
It says, fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life.
and we lay hold on eternal life. Alright? Alright, enduring in this truth, man. Alright? It's striving into death. Alright? This right here, this word, bro, is a lot more powerful than Jake really think, bro. Jake think he just doing it for a reason. Jake think he like to, just saying whatever. Alright? Just spewing out of my mouth nonsense. But they're going to realize when all hell breaks loose, and the Lord comes back, and the Lord exposes, fully exposes devils and exposes the truth, alright? They don't realize, they was about to go time. Somebody get a pop up in the moment. I want, Bill and all two of them.
It says, whereunto thou art also called and has professed a good profession before many witnesses.
We have been called, man. We have professed this good confession upon many witnesses, man. Everybody's witnessing this truth. Everybody's seeing our faces every weekend. All right? Every time we come out here for camp, people are seeing us, bro. They realize, okay, who are these guys? All right? And we're professing our profession right here, man. All right? The truth is being brought up right here. You know?
Ezekiel 33 and verse 31. So my people come pretending to be sincere and to adore you.
Come before you while you preach on people. All right? Pretend to be sincere, sitting on the show. Yeah, shalom, brother. You know, I'm here. You know, going on.
They listen to your words, but they have no intention. It's like no intention of doing what you say.
They listen to our words, and hear what we say, and hear what we preach. They have no intention of actually following after the truth. Alright? Jake may, you know, comply or this the truth right here. You know, if you want to see Jake again, that might be, you know, that might be last week you see him. You know, because Jake ain't really about it for you. Alright?
Their mouths are full of lustful words, and their hearts only seek after money.
Their mouths are full of lustful words, man. Alright? And their hearts only seek after money. That's hopefully the two-thirds Jake overall. I always speak of lustful words and they're lusting after the flesh, lusting after other women, other man's woman, lusting after, you know, food and all these different things.
Let's get ready to close out. Grab your last precepts.
Alright? And their hearts is after money, and their minds is after money. Their minds is after riches in this place. Alright? And with that, they will give anything up for that money. Because that's where their mind is at. It said where your heart is, your treasure will be also, man. You know?
You are very entertaining to them.
Like we're just entertaining to these fools, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're entertaining them right now. This is entertainment. You have Jake now come up, they'll just listen and watch. You know what I'm saying? Because they're bored. They don't have nothing else to do today. Alright? You know, they fell off after high school and now they just lonely and they want to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, or you have people coming this thing just because they want to be a part of something, not really understanding what they're a part of. They think it's a Boy Scout club. That's why you have guys come in, they always want to part. Hey, brother. Whenever the chicken going out, whenever it's beers and chicken, niggas ears perk up, nigga eyes get wide. You remember my old boy? We all about to drink? Oh, come on, man. That was one of them, dude.
Like how the cartoon character do when they smell some pop.
Yeah, they smell something like an addict. When you smell some liquor, eyes get wide, nigga looking crazy, looking crazy all day. I mentioned the beer. Eyes wide up. Jake just come around for the chicken, man. You know? And that's what they was doing to Yahushua. They would just come around because Yahushua was feeding them. So the Yahushua said, hey, y'all get out. I ain't feeding y'all no more, bro. Niggas was just looking to fill their belly.
They would come in for a season and leave for any reason. Right? Because they wasn't truly about the faith.
It says, like someone who sings love songs with a beautiful voice.
So they look at us like somebody that sings love songs with a beautiful voice. They're entertained. Oh yeah, you know, Jake like it for the moment. Hey, we gonna get spiritual powers, multiple women. You know, but they don't know what it's truly about.
But then when you tell them you can't smoke a blunt no more, you can't eat pork no more. Gotta cut them dreads off. Oh, these niggas crazy, man. Right.
I'm gonna start getting critical.
It goes on to say or play fine music on an instrument. They hear what you say, but don't act on it.
They hear what you're saying, but they don't act on it. Alright? They don't really want to do it. They don't want to put their hands to work. Alright?
But when all these terrible things happen to them, as they certainly will,
And they will.
then they will know a prophet has been among them.
When all these terrible things come to pass and happen unto you, as they certainly will, everything we prophesied, everything we told you and warned you about, once these things happen, it's all hell breaking loose. Then that's how they know a prophet has been among them. Then that's how they know brothers have been telling them this the whole time. You know? One moment, you know, we conspiracy theories right now, but that day, we're gonna be the ones y'all looking for. You know? That was it.
This is, I want to get it earlier when we talk about things being revealed. This means bringing it back. It says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall pursue with the spirit of his mouth.
Which is the prophets. The Lord is revealing this man with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets. You know, Esau is being revealed. It's been found. Everybody pointing the finger at the Edomites and the small hats. The small hats and the white Christians pointing the finger at each other. You're Esau. No, you're Esau. No, you're Esau. Like that Spider-Man meme. Like they're being revealed. They're being found out. And it's because of the mouth of the Lord is his prophet. Scripture says the Lord speaks through the mouth of his holy prophets.
That's why this lesson is called exposing the dark rulers, man. Because we are the ones that were originally exposing these old devils. Alright? And the Lord was speaking through us. You can't just come across this type of knowledge. You can't just find this out anywhere, bro. That was the Lord, man.
It says, he shall destroy the brightness of his coming.
Mm.
He shall destroy the brightness of his coming. So the Lord comes back. Alright? The truth is going to be sprung up. Alright? Infidelity shall be cut off. Alright? That's when you know people don't know. They're going to see, okay, this is the truth. This is the world, man. Alright? These brothers is right. Alright? And that's when brothers are going to be exalted. Alright? And the Lord will be exalted. So with that, you know the precept?
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kadash.